Bradley down, into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball begins with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
And the ball out top for Pete. Looking to drive inside, right of the lane. Runner is up and good. James drives right on Burries. Turns. Little up and her blocked by Krivas. Grabbed by Awaka out of the air. Push it in. Here's Bradley on the run. Jaden loves to go coast to coast. Put it up over the rim. No good, but tipped in by Mo Krivas. Rebound batted up. Loose grab by Krivas. Taken away. Now picked up by Bradley. Here's Jaden running the other way on Miller. Reverse lay-in is short. Followed by Burries. Good for two. Delhi, hard drive down the lane to the bucket. Missed the lane. There's a Waka to put it in. Master of the offensive glass. Working down left. Off for Kurchenkov. Through the lane to the bucket. Lay it up and good.
He snake dribbles that so well, Brian. Keeps the ball bouncing until he finds a lay-in for himself.
Throw it down left corner. Bradley passed up the three. Drives it to the bucket. Put it up and score it.
Zone defense for Cincinnati. Arizona doesn't settle. They take a lay-in.
Shot clock is off, and the Wildcats will dribble this one out. They go to 19-0. At least temporarily take over sole possession of first place in the Big 12 with a 6-0 record. And back here on Saturday to host West Virginia at high noon. Final score, McHale Center, Arizona 77, Cincinnati 51.
And it is Basketball Saturday in Arizona. All but a rainy Basketball Saturday in Arizona. So if you're out there on the streets this morning, please be extremely careful. And, of course, exercise as much caution as possible if you're headed down to McHale Center later this morning for this basketball game, which will take place at the beginning of the afternoon. A noon tip-off today as the Arizona Wildcats get set to take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. My name is David Kelly. Glad you could be with us today. Kelvin Efon, J.W. Madden also here as we've got you for the next 3 hours leading you into today's noon national television broadcast. CBS in town. You know, if you're starting at noon, it's likely a game that is on the major network, CBS. Spiro Ditas and the legend Clark Kellogg here to call the game today nationally. Of course, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 and on K-Hit 107.5 as Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen will have the call for you right here. All right, we are Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Let's let you know what we've got coming up for you over the next 3 hours of our program.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we'll take a look back at the win over the Cincinnati Bearcats. It was not an easy ball game. It got easier toward the end for the Arizona Wildcats. And also, we will, as we normally do, we'll take our first look at today's game, West Virginia. That is brought to you by Window Depot. We will shine a spotlight on one of your Arizona Wildcats. Ivan Karchenkov has continued to be one of the fab freshmen on this Arizona roster, and Ryan Hansen caught up with Ivan Karchenkov. We'll hear from the German by way of Moscow, Russia. On today's program, DK sorta with TL, and we have a question that I probably actually would have asked the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats had I been in a recent press conference, and that is right now the state of the three-point shooting for his ball club, which over the course of the last 3 games and really in Big 12 play is down from where the Wildcats were throughout the better part of the non-conference season. Our scouting report will be brought to you by Brad Howe. He is the radio analyst for the West Virginia Mountaineers, and that's brought to you also by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Who will be that Mountaineer that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today? Pest of the game, courtesy of Essential Pest Control. Can we beat the book over at the Casino del Sol this afternoon? Arizona enters today's game as a 17.5-point favorite, a little bit lower of an over-under at 144.5. Keys to the game, we'll have those for you. Everybody will provide those coming up a little bit later, and that is brought to you by Royal Automotive. Arizona ended up winning by 26 points on Wednesday against the Cincinnati Bearcats, a game that was pretty much an 8-point ball game till around the 8-minute mark of the second half. Tommy Lloyd, after the game, on what his team learned from having to, quote, win ugly.
Yeah, we're here for it. We don't need to be pretty. We're not trying to be a pretty team. I mean, I always tell our guys, if we're not gritty, we look like a word that rhymes with gritty. And so, we want to be gritty. And that's our DNA, and you got to be relentless. You got to be relentless in your pursuit of that. And if you meet a little resistance and you can't push through it, well, you're probably not going to be a good team. So you have to have some wherewithal. And obviously we want to make more than 3 threes. But I don't get hung up on that. I thought that what the game called for was us to be more aggressive. Getting to the paint, taking care of the ball, and I think our guards kind of got a little more comfortable. Figuring that out. They Cincinnati, has some, different coverages maybe, than we've kind of seen consistently all year. So, we had to kind of unravel that a little bit, and we appreciate the struggle. We appreciate competition. We appreciate having to be able to figure things out, because that's reality.
Yeah, that is the reality. It was a game that started relatively well for Arizona. They made 6 of their first 9 shots in the ball game, but then they went on a stretch where they missed the next 9 shots that they took. Braden Burry's on that first half slump.
I'll just say probably just, taking tough shots, a domino effect of like multiple guys, including myself, just taking tough shots or out of character shots. But I feel like they're icing, so we could have just, instead of like refusing, we got to attack the ice and just hit them on the open roll. Basically, just coach told us to just keep attacking the ice, and then the pocket pass is open, and then we wasn't doing that in the first half.
Now, guys, it took me a little while to figure out exactly what the hell he was talking about there. I was like, what is he talking about? Attacking the ice. Is that a term I'm not familiar with? But then I realized he was shortening ISO on that side. What did you all see there in terms of how they adjusted to the isolation that the Cincinnati Bearcats were throwing at them early in the game?
Yeah, I just thought that, again, you attack the ISO because it's one-on-one. You're in a one-on-one situation, so you attack that because our guys could get by them and force help, and that's where you got the drop-offs and the kick-outs and everything like that. When you go over the screen, that's how you get doubled. And a lot of time when you're in those situations, so the coach would say attack the ice, which now the big man roll, and now you have the pocket pass, which is a little pass that's in between the guard and the big man. It's a little pocket right there where you could drop it off, and so your big guys can score. So, it takes time. When we're playing these games, or when U of A is playing these games, the other team is not telling you their game plan. You understand? I mean, you have to adjust as the game go on. So once you watch what they're doing, and a lot of time, if they're a good coach, they're adjusting the coverages as they go. So they're doing like 3 different things, and you're trying to figure it out as you go, and you're trying to figure out what is being more effective and how to attack it. And a lot of times it's go right at them. It's
The biggest is, are you switching pick and rolls? And are you doubling hard on bigs? And what we saw in that game early was they were doubling all the bigs on a catch. So there wasn't much going down there in the post. So a lot of it's inside out, trying to establish Krivas, trying to establish, guys like Awaka and Koa in the paint. And Kelvin, I mean, what they saw there was those rolls were open. We saw 2 dunks, right, on the baseline off those rolls, because what they were doing was being hard on those top ball screens and making sure that they hedged out a little bit. And so if you decide you're going to go the other way, Kelvin, a lot of times that side of the lane is going to be open. The right side, let's say the screen's coming from the left. If you go right instead, that role is going to be wide open because the attention's over on the left side. But like Kelvin said, every single team is going to look at the efficiency of this Arizona offense and say, how do we try to slow them down? How do we try to confuse them? So there might be periods of trying to figure out what that defensive attention is going to be, Kelvin, where they're going to be doubling from, what their strats are on the pick and roll, especially at the top of the key. So you figure that out as it goes. And with 4 freshmen, Kelvin, sometimes it might take a second for everybody to get on the same page. But once they do, they got it rolling.
Good day for Mo Krivas once again. He was one of the primary players on the offensive side of the ball for the Arizona Wildcats. Continues to be impressive as well, defensively affecting shots at the rim. 17 points for Mo in the ball game on 7 of 9 shooting. He also had 9 rebounds, so just a tick below what would have been his 5th double-double of the season. Motiez Krivas on what worked as Arizona's offense got unraveled in the second half.
I would just say effort plays and offensive rebounds. It's like it like motivates everyone, like engages the crowd. It's like, I wouldn't say easy, but like bonus points, and then just sharing the ball, it helped too.
Motiez Krivas has been one of the better free throw shooters on this team. I think, though, that there are teams out there that maybe don't believe that he's that good and can continue to be that good, because the young man has taken a pounding on the inside, and it has impressed Tommy Lloyd the way that he's handled the physical play he's seeing.
I don't know. I mean, Krivas means so much to us, and he's just a couple games ago, I thought the game got really physical. And, as we got off the plane, he and I were talking about it. And, I just told him to hang in there and, let's focus on a few techniques that can help you out. And he just said to me, Coach, I think I just got to be a little bit tougher. And when a player tells you that's taking the physical beating he is, you tip your hat to him, because that ain't easy to do.
Yeah, what's in terms of that aspect of it, guys? When you look at the Motiez at the offensive end primarily, what have you liked? I mean, we talked about obviously his footwork and how that's improved with him being healthy, but what have you kind of liked about the way he's managed being in this physical conference, playing in it for the first time?
Yeah, he seems to me that he doesn't really get frustrated with it. He seems like he embraces the contact. I feel like it's to his advantage. I mean, when you're that big, you want it to be physical. You don't want ref calling every little touch foul, every little post up, calling offensive fouls on you. There's been a couple times he's got the elbows up a little high, when little guys are pushing you up underneath sometimes, and and I think that bothers him a little bit. But I think overall, I think he's been real tough, and he's been embracing the physicality of it.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with being 7'2", 260. So, I mean, footwork is great, and he commands so much space down there, DK. It's not, I don't think so much that people don't trust he's shooting 80% and they want to challenge that. It's that you can't really do anything. There's 47-footers in the in all of college basketball? It's pretty rare to have a 7'2", 260 guy with skills. We saw Oliver Rue with Florida this year, the tallest player in NCAA history. It's 7'9", but he doesn't even get on the court because he's not coordinated enough to do so. So combining that coordination, finishing skills around the rim with both hook shots, and then he's shown a propensity more recently to attack with 2 hands, Kelvin, which is what you've been asking him to do since he was a freshman. I just think teams, DK, do not have the size to challenge him at the rim, and so they'd much rather, if he makes a strong move, a strong pivot, especially towards the basket, he's getting fouled in those situations more than anything because they don't have the bodies to deal with a guy that size, and that's the biggest advantage that he has. So, of course, teams are going to come in, try to get under his skin. Of course, they're going to try to give a little bit of, elbows to the ribs and that kind of thing. They're trying to challenge his manhood and see if he's built for it. And clearly, when he goes to his coach and says, I need to be more physical, I need to be stronger down here, that's the truth, because he's going to be challenged, Kelvin. 7'2", 260 guys who play starters minutes are going to be challenged, especially in a conference that plays basically football, basketball.
And I'll add to this. And basically, you have to be physical and take the bumps early. You may not get the calls. If you don't show the frustration, the refs would eventually see it. As the old saying goes, you have to take guys and put them through the rim. And once you put them through the rim a couple times and the refs see that you're a physical player, then you'll start to get more calls around there. So I just think it's just a point of he had just got to continue to use his size to his advantage.
Arizona found their offense down the stretch of the game on Wednesday against Cincinnati. Like we mentioned earlier, it was for the most part an 8-point game till about 8:40 left in the game, and by the end, it was a 26-point win for Arizona. Braden Burry's on what was key during that second half offensive explosion.
I would say our energy. During the timeout, coach got on us about our energy and we got to put on a show and just continue to play the right way. We just started inching our way and getting the lead.
This is, I think, for you, the second double-double you've had with the rebounds, and there were some offensive boards. You'd mentioned how you had to get back into doing that. Do you feel like you're where you should be with your rebounding now?
I feel like I still can get better, But I feel like my rebounding, once I start rebounding, it just gets me going. And tonight, my shot wasn't falling, but by rebounding, just helping the team out in a different way besides scoring.
And that run featured one of those kills that we talk about. Arizona went on an 11-0 run to stretch a 12-point lead out to 23 between the 6-minute mark and the 3-minute mark of the ball game, really closing things out well did the Arizona Wildcats. And the rebounding again, we saw from the guard Braden Burries, another double-double for him with 10-plus rebounds. Tommy Lloyd just impressed with what the young man is doing, contributing in more ways than just at the offensive end.
Braden's a really good player. He contributes in a lot of areas. He's just gotten so much better over the course of the year. And, I just hope he understands that, you're not always going to have 27 next to your name on the stat sheet for points. It's just not how it kind of goes at this level. So I thought he was great today in a lot of areas. I thought he did a good job handling their pressure and handling the ball. And for him and JB to run the point against this team that turns a lot of people over, to have 8 assists and 1 turnover, it was a pretty impressive performance.
Kelvin, I think in my experience watching college basketball, especially college, not so much NBA, but college, the best players are the ones who, when they're 1 for 10, the energy level they give on the defensive end, diving for loose balls, is the exact same as if they're 9 for 10. It doesn't affect your play on the other aspects of the game, regardless of how well you're shooting in that game. And that's what they're talking about with Burries, is that clearly his shot wasn't going the other night. However, it didn't change the way that what else he brought to that game. And contributing winning plays, sometimes the back screen, right, goes unnoticed because all you see is the dunk from the other side. But guess what? That play was set up by how committed that player was, Kelvin, to making sure that they could rub that defender off of that player. So it's those little things that maybe don't get noticed in the box score, but everybody contributing regardless of how your shot's going is what leads to winning basketball.
Yeah, and he said it earlier in the year. He said, I kind of was looking around because we got Toby Awaka and we got Crevis and those guys to rebound. And I think he was, locked in on trying to score early and not necessarily shooting a bunch of shots to get it done early, but looking to score because he understood that was his role on the team. But I think as the season went along and Coach explained to him, hey, get back to doing those things that help you win that state championship. You had to do all the dirty work to win the state championship in high school because you wasn't at one of the schools with all the all-star players and All-Americans. You were the guy. And so you have to get back into that type of attitude. So for him to go out and get 10 rebounds in a game where he's not shooting well, what it does is it energizes your teammates. It makes your teammates embrace you even more because they understand that it's not all about him scoring. It's about him trying to be a winner and doing winning things.
The obviously catalyst, one of the big catalysts in this game was the defensive side of it for Arizona, holding this team down to 51 points, Cincinnati. And Tommy Lloyd says that started with really neutralizing the guard play on the other side for Cincinnati, and we spoke about that afterward. Day Thomas, 2 points. Jizzle James, 4 points. Sincere Harris, 1 point. That was key, says the head coach.
They're starting guards who wanted to do a good job on them. Number 1 and number 2, Thomas and James, are good players, and they've been having a lot of success for them, and they played good in their past couple games. And I thought our guys did a good job staying sticky. They're kind of these guys that have good mid-range games. So we wanted to kind of stay sticky on our pull-ups. I thought our guys did a good job. The Miller kid was really impressive live. I haven't seen him. It's the first time I've seen him live. And, he put us in some situations where, we had to kind of change our coverages. And then once you change the coverage, you're like, ooh. I don't know if I like the next coverage, but he's just a good player. And then their guards did a good job kind of setting him up on some simple little pocket passes that gave him a little bit of an edge. But yeah, no, I thought overall, I mean, obviously a great job defensively for our guys. You hold a team to, shooting that percentage. You're going to feel pretty good.
Those three players you mentioned had 46 in their win over Iowa State.
Yeah. And in this game, they went a combined 3 for 19. Pretty impressive D there by your Arizona Wildcats. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, just getting started. We want to hear from you, 520-848-1290. You can give us a call. You can give us a text. I may have something special for you coming up here a little bit later, so stay tuned for that as well. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues after this timeout on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
It's way more physical, like referees almost let you fight.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
The holidays are over, and right now is the best time to start your home renovation project. At the Window Depot, you get factory direct prices, no installers, no middleman, and serious savings. Windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, all in stock and ready to take home today. Perfect for DIYers and contractors who want to save thousands and get materials fast. New year, new projects at the lowest prices. Shop online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or royaltucson.com.
Coach, Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way has important news.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering up to 60 months no interest financing, manufacturer and energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Jaden Bradley will bring it down to hit Korchinkov. Out top, Pete center circle. Hand it off to Burries. Round to Pete's screen. Bounce it back to Cole. To the bucket. Slam it home.
First time Arizona's had a streak to the rim uninhibited since the 17-minute mark.
It's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
Arizona, number 1 in the country, West Virginia. Today at McHale Center, tip-off at noon. Arizona leads the all-time series 4-3 after the team split 2 meetings last season. You'll remember the Wildcats lost to the Mountaineers in Atlantis in that tournament, a non-conference game, and then beat the Mountaineers during the regular season Big 12 down in Morgantown. Last time these two teams met in Tucson, how about 34 years ago? 1992 was the year. Arizona won that game by just a single point, 75-74. And this is a team in West Virginia that comes in at 4-2 in the Big 12 and coming off a win on the road to start this trip up, or should I say down in Tempe over the Arizona State Sun Devils, a loss that made Bobby Hurley lose his mind this week. Maybe we'll play a little bit of that later on as well. But Russ Hodge has not. He's probably heard about it here. I don't know that he's ever brought a team here, but he knows it's not going to be easy surviving a game at a sold out, and it is sold out today, folks, a sold out McHale Center.
You got to stay together. You know, you got to stay together. You've got to execute for 40 minutes. You know, you've got to weather their storms the best you can. Can't allow. You know, you want to try to minimize runs, make them 6-0, 7-0 runs, not 22-2 and then 15-5 type of runs. And you just don't want to help them. You know, you don't want to spit the ball out, turn the ball over. Now they're in transition. Now they're getting their size and athleticism into the game. And you got to do your absolute best to give them one shot only, because the last thing you want to do is give a very efficient offensive team more than one shot.
Well, and that's what the Wildcats do. We've talked about it all season. We mentioned it in the first segment, 11-zip run. That kind of sparked that run, that vault up from an 8-point game to a 26-point game. Teams have not been able to stay out of those long runs that Arizona has been able to get into offensively this season.
No, they haven't, and it's just because they wear you down. I mean, when you have a team that's the one of the reasons why Coach wanted size, because size wears you down. The old saying is you can't teach size, right? I mean, you can teach a person how to be a point guard and all that, but you can't teach them how to be 7 foot and 6'9". So I just feel like that. They just a big team that ends up wearing on you, and as they wear on you, the fouls mount up, and now your team doesn't have the same effectiveness because your guys are on the sideline.
It has not been an easy road already this season for the West Virginia Mountaineers as they've tried to navigate. They've had to go on the road to ranked teams in Houston. That did not end well for them as they were beaten up pretty good by the Cougars. They've had to go on the road to number 3 Iowa State. That did not end pretty well at all either. They lost that game on the 2nd of January, 80-59 at Houston, 77-48. So pretty much 30-point whoopings on the road have been the norm. That's why it was really nice to get a win in Tempe the other night for this ball club. And in terms of the road, Russ Hodge says, hey, it's something that you understand coming into this conference.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to the Big 12. You've already played at Iowa State and at Houston, and now you get to play against the number one team in the country. But that's what you love about this league, man. It's going to challenge you in a lot of different ways, and with that, you get presented some incredible opportunities.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, it's not an easy thing to do. Even Honor Huff. Say that 5 times fast. Honor Huff says that, again, this is a team that has played well at home. They beat Colorado, obviously an upset against Kansas at home. They've got to find a way to take that type of energy that they've had at Hope Coliseum in Morgantown into places like Tucson and McHale Center.
Let's take it on the road. Like, we have to figure out ways to be as consistent as we can be at home on the road, and obviously that's easier said than done, and it gets difficult at times, but just putting together stretches where we're at our best just has to happen on the road. I think we get in too many stall outs where it's like we're not consistent enough within the game, especially when we're on the road, and when we get down, it's not the same obviously when we have the crowd rallying around us. It's just little things like that we have to stay a little bit more focused, especially on the road. Got to be a little bit more sharper.
Again, this is the 4th coach that they've had in 4 years. 4 coaches in 4 years. I was thinking about that last night because I was looking for a trivia question. And I was thinking, maybe the trivia question will be, can you name all 4 of the coaches that West Virginia has had this in the last 4 years? I could only name 3 because I couldn't remember who the interim guy was that replaced Coach Huggins. So I only came up with 3. But Ross Hodge in his first season after being down at North Texas. Tommy Lloyd, not real familiar with him, but there is a common connection.
Ross is one of these guys who's been around in the game, for a long time. He's a JUCO coach in Texas, and then, was Grant McCaslin's assistant at North Texas, and he and Grant had been together for a few years, and he's just one of these guys that knows how to win basketball games. And his teams always have a real identity on the defensive end of the floor, and then offensively, they're a team that, usually can have a shooter or 2 that can knock down multiple threes, and then they try to get you in a possession game. Yeah, a lot of respect for Ross.
Back a ways with Grant. Did you get to know him?
I mean, I know Ross a little bit, not the same way, he and I don't have the same relationship Grant and I have, but, it's just because we just haven't been around each other as much, but he's a great guy.
And Grant McCaslin, obviously the common connection there, the head coach at Texas Tech, who has been on Tommy's summer staffs at USA Basketball, and a pretty close common friendship there as well. But Ross Hodge, the latest in line now, and hopefully a guy they can settle on after they thought they had their coach in Darren DeVries, but he exited after 1 season to take the job at Indiana. That's what happens when you come in 1 year and lead a team to some.
It helps when
nice
your son's
success.
real good. You can bring him with you.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, Tucker, that's the reason that the Arizona lost more or less is because
Yeah, the
Tucker
first,
got
the
hurt.
game
Yeah,
in
he wasn't in the
Atlantis.
second game. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And he did not play the second time around.
Yeah, and like you said, that connection with Ross Hodge, I have to say this. He went to my high school,
right,
in Dallas. He played with LaMarcus Aldridge in high school as well, or was it right before? I think LaMarcus's freshman year. But Ross was a guy that just worked hard. Like I said, got into junior college basketball. So that was his end right there. I think he was at Paris Junior College.
Yeah, Paris.
Right. Yeah, he was at Paris Junior College. Yeah, I followed him pretty good. He recruited Lester pretty heavy. It was funny. What's Grant's last name again?
McCaslin.
Yeah, those guys were. Grant is from Irving, and so me and him graduated around the same time in Dallas. So he remembered me when he was playing. When we were playing, but that is the connection between those guys going through JUCO and everything and working together, and then him coming out of Colorado State. With
I gotta
Larry
see
Stasiak.
that, man. I gotta see one day where these Big 12 head coaches, DK, walk into a room and there's Kelvin Efon. They're like, "Bro, you dropped 50 on me, man. What you been up to?"
Yeah, it's crazy, but just real proud of him, man. He's doing Seagoville, Texas. He's really showing what's the word I'm trying to say. When you have pride for a guy, he's representing well. There you go.
There we go.
What's Paris, Texas like?
Probably like Casa Grande.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly. I've got Kelvin Efon. I've got J.W. Madden. We've got number one Arizona at McHale Center today. So obviously we're dealing with some weather here in southern Arizona. It has been raining, not hard, but raining pretty consistently for much of the night. So you know what that means. And we've just got word from University of Arizona Athletics. There will be no grass parking today on campus. So that's going to mean that the mall will not be. If you park on the mall, that's not going to be available. If you park on the center mall, the McHale Mall, which is the mall closest to the south side, nearest to McHale, that will not be available today. If you park on Giddings Lawn over by tennis, that is not going to be available today. So we'll get you updated, continue to update you on that. I would imagine everything's going to flow into 6th Street, the 6th Street garage, as well as the South Stadium garage. Obviously, all Surface Street parking that'll be available. Get there early if you want to try to get one of those spots, but there will be no grass parking today at McHale Center, as there normally isn't when we get these situations with rain. A winter storm that is affecting and gripping the entire country. Most of the people, unfortunately, wish they were getting rain, getting heavy amounts of snow, sub-freezing temperatures in a lot of the northern lake communities, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit. Some of those places are dealing with below freezing temperatures. Keep an eye on all your relatives that are in cold weather states this weekend.
The biggest issue, Kelvin, is that your home area doesn't necessarily see this kind of ice. However, when they do, the northern states got a lot of those emergency vehicles to clear roads and help with ice that they send down. But right now, those northern states need all those vehicles. So that's the biggest issue we're dealing with right now, is a lot of those areas of the country are all getting hit at the same time. So be safe out there.
Indeed. Some of the guys that to keep an eye on in this contest today, one of them is a young man by the name of Trayson Eaglestaff, who came over from North Dakota. He is really playing well right now. He's averaging just 11 points on the season, but scoring at a much higher clip since the start of Big 12 conference play. Trayson again, changes he's had to make to his game to step up from North Dakota to West Virginia.
Rebounding, never done that before till this year. Like, that wasn't my goal, and they just made me a more physical player. And then, like, in practice, like, if I mess up, like, they're gonna let me know, and that's something I really appreciate. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm like coming off a good game or not. Like, they're gonna let you know, like, if you're messing up in practice, and kind of just learning from that in film. We have individual film sessions with each coach, offensive and defensive, and they really helped me a lot with that.
Yeah, this is a team that has won back-to-back games, Colorado and Arizona State, and he has combined to score 45 points in those two wins.
I was listening to what he said right there, and I'm like, well, I can't send my kid to North Dakota State because they're not teaching all that other stuff.
Right. Like, if you're getting, if you're getting talked to about your faults now, like what was happening prior to now, because that's a big part of any locker room, Kelvin.
There you go. All right, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. When we come back, we are going to get our scouting report, and we'll hear from the radio analysts for the West Virginia Mountaineers. We'll find out more about Trayson Eaglestaff and company. Brad Howe will join us on the program. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues after this timeout on Wildcats Radio 1290.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors your glass cleaner of the game. The best rebounding performance for Arizona Wildcats every ball game. Might it be the Wildcat who has the most of those rebounds? Could it be the U of A star with the impactful grabs off the glass? We'll tell you who the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game is coming up tonight on Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, the post-game show. Kelvin Efon is here, J.W. Madden as well. My name is David Kelly. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair. As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary, call ahead's welcome, or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Wildcat fans, why wait for a great night's sleep? At Factory Direct Mattress of Tucson, you get comfort for life and deals you can't get anywhere else. Shop top-rated brands like the award-winning Puffy, Lisa, and our FDM lineup, all at Factory Direct Savings. No gimmick, no pressure, just comfort that helps you wake up feeling like a champion. Find us at 3936 West Ina Road or at fdmtucson.com. That's fdmtucson.com. Easy to find, easy to save. Stop by today, sleep better tonight, and get ready for Arizona's next victory.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Koa matched on Miller, fired over for Del Orso. Deli, hard drive down the lane to the bucket, missed the lane. There's a Waka to put it in. Master of the offensive glass. Second offensive rebound put back for Tobe Waka.
Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960. Here to get you there.
All right, let's take a look at this afternoon's opponent. It is the West Virginia Mountaineers making their first appearance here in Tucson as a Big 12 opponent. Pleased to be joined by the radio analyst for the Mountaineers. His name is Brad Howell. He's been covering all things West Virginia University for many years. First of all, Brad, fourth coach in 4 years for this program. How difficult has that been?
Well, as difficult as you can imagine it would be. It's really, again, as you well know and your listeners know, it's just an odd time in college sports right now, and we're probably at the forefront of that. As you mentioned, 4 coaches in 4 years, 4 different rosters in 4 years. So for the second straight year, we return 0 minutes from the year before. So it's been really bizarre. I mean, we're thrilled to have Ross Hodge here, but yeah, it is certainly a bizarre 4 years with the constant turnover and trying to establish some consistency.
All right, so what is a Russ Hodge Mountaineer basketball team? What's that look like 19 games in?
Yeah, I think we're continuing to get better. And so it's one of those where Ross has built his reputation on the defensive end and a defensive system, and you're starting to see that come together for West Virginia. And that's been a work in progress. It's a very intricate system, the way they teach it, and it's taken a while for all of those new players to come together and understand what to do, but they feel like they're improving every day and won 4 of the last 5 games, and as you well know, the best basketball league in America. So they're pleased with the progress at this point.
Coming off, obviously, a huge win to start this road trip up at Tempe against Arizona State the other night. And again, you've got a young man by the name of Trayson Eaglestaff who is really starting to establish himself. What kind of player has Trayson been so far?
Yeah, it's a great question, and he was certainly the difference in Tempe the other night. And he's a guy that comes in and the only guy in the country last year to score 40 or more points in more than one game, and he did that at the University of North Dakota. So he came in with a reputation of being a big-time scorer. Early in his tenure for West Virginia, it was interesting, and I talk about all those new players. He was getting his feet established defensively and rebounding, things he didn't necessarily have to do previously. And so the offense was maybe a little slow to come along. You're starting to see over the last 5 or 6 games that his skill set is becoming available, and he's a guy that can score at all 3 levels. He's about 6'6", really great three-point shooter, but can take it off the bounce for a mid-range, can post up if he gets a smaller guard put on him, and has really been a difference maker over these last few games. It's part of why you're seeing West Virginia on this winning streak. He gives West Virginia a complimentary scorer in that backcourt, and he's been fantastic lately.
It is today's scouting report, and it's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960, here to get you there. Chatting with Brad Howell. He is the radio analyst on the basketball side for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Brad, when you look at obviously some of the other guys on this team, leading scorer Honor Huff, say that 5 times fast, comes in averaging 17 points, shooting about 39% from distance. What's been tough for defenses to kind of figure out about his game?
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I think your fans will enjoy watching him just as a college basketball fan. He's diminutive, so he's a little bit smaller, but and I've been around a long time in this business. He's got as quick a release of any player I've ever seen. Guy that led the nation in three-pointers made last year. He's number 2 nationally right now in three-pointers made, and is probably as good of a tough shot maker as I've ever been around. And so, as Ross often says, Honor didn't just get small recently. He's been tiny his whole life, so he's learned how to get shots off against bigger guards. So obviously that's a critical component playing against these Wildcats that have just such great size and length, that his ability to that quick release and his just straight speed. So you'll see Honor be running all around the court from side to side, make that defense have to chase and trail him, and then get the shots off. So he's really a joy to watch, just an elite shot maker.
Not a lot of height on this team, but you've got the big man, obviously. They're Harlan Obioha. Did I pronounce
you're right,
that right?
Obioha.
Yeah. Harlan Obioha. How do you think he's going to match up against a guy like Motias Krivas?
Yeah, tough question, because I don't know that anybody matches well up against Krivas. So that's a real challenge. But Harlan's obviously going to be critical in this game. There's not many guys that can match Krivas' size. So Harlan has to play well. And he's been a real key these last few games. If he's physical, plays well and can stay out of foul trouble, West Virginia is a much better team. And if you have to get behind him, West Virginia gets a lot smaller quickly, which they know is a huge mismatch problem against this giant Arizona team. So, yeah, I think this is an extremely tough matchup because it always is against Krivas. But I think that's an important factor for West Virginia is for Harlan's ability to stay on the floor for the whole game.
Brennan Laurent is a guy that came over with Coach Hodge from North Texas. How important was it to have a player like that who had been with Coach at the prior stop?
Yeah, massive, because we just said there's not many people returning. There's nobody returning. So having him and your point guard and Jasper Floyd, guys that understand the culture, understand this defensive system, have been massive. And that was really important early in the summer as leadership was established. And then you talk about Brennan Laurent as a player, super athlete, 6'9", can jump out of the gym, and has been a difference maker. When West Virginia wins games, you'll see Laurent usually is effective in that painted area. So that's obviously a big part of it against Arizona when it's so difficult to get to the rim and finish at the rim. You've got to be able to hit those little mid-range shots. When West Virginia's clicking and Belo's playing well, those shots are falling. So that's another key. If those shots are falling for West Virginia, good sign, because you've got to find ways to score away from the rim against this Wildcats team.
Brad Howell is our guest. He is the radio analyst for the West Virginia Mountaineers. It is your scouting report, and it's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. Brad, the football schedule came out this past week. The first meeting between Arizona and a Rich Rodriguez coach West Virginia team will be next season in Morgantown. Year one started really well. The upset of the rival Pitt Panthers kind of was the big moment of the season. Then things kind of got tough once Big 12 play came around. What was the overall assessment of Rich's first year back there?
Yeah, super excited fan base to have Rich back. West Virginia's best points in its football history came with Rich Rodriguez version 1. So fans were anxious to return to that. But again, much like we talked about basketball with a totally reshuffled roster, how about this for some numbers for you? Last year, West Virginia brought in 82 new players in year one. 82. Guess what? This year, you're going to have another 80-plus coming in. So it was wild. And really, the short version last year is it's probably miraculous that West Virginia got to 4 wins. It played 5 different starting quarterbacks. It played 6 different running backs due to injury. So never mind did you have enough talent, you didn't have enough healthy bodies. So just a wild year in year one for Rich, and certainly not what his expectations were. I think that gets better this season. And I think, as you well know, this league is different now with no Matt Campbell, no Kyle Whittingham going on, Oklahoma State in a rebuild. So it's an interesting league. It's kind of starting to shift a little bit. And I think the West Virginia fans are excited for year 2 under Rich. That's when it started to take off under him the first time, as he got some more guys that fit his system in. So I think that's what fans are expecting this year, is a revamped roster and a revamped team under year 2, version 2 of Rich Rodriguez.
Now, Brad, you were there. Obviously, you've been around this program. You worked in athletics for a number of years. First time that Rich Rod was there. How is he different than the Rich Rod you knew the first time around?
Yeah, that's a great question, as he's older and was gone for 17 years. And let me just say this. The wildest thing I've ever seen in college sports was that Rich Rodriguez returned to West Virginia. That was a messy exit the first time. Yeah. And the fact that he is back, I would have bet my career earnings that you would never see that. But he's back, and you mentioned I was really close to him the first round, so I've seen him up close for a long time. He's exactly the same. There is no mellowing of Rich Rodriguez, and his intensity is pretty well known. He's the same guy, as intense as ever, innovator offensively, demands the most, and not a guy that is easing into retirement by any stretch. That fire still burns. So he is as intense as he ever was.
And in terms of the philosophy, is what you saw in terms of, I mean, obviously he's always going to be, when he came here, he was billed as one of the best offensive minds in college football. Has his scheme changed much at all from when he was there with you guys?
Yeah, that's a great question, too, because as you know, he was really on the front edge of that zone read. Back when at West Virginia with Pat White and Steve Slayton, that was really one of the first guys to do that, and it was really innovative. And then, as he came here to Arizona, an innovative offensive mind. I think it's harder now to be an innovative offensive mind because there's so much similarity across college football. But, there's some tweaks that are still there. That power run game is still a staple. And what really surprised me, to be honest with you, the tempo is still a big thing. And you don't see that a lot anymore. So it's almost like that's cycled through so much that the fast tempo is kind of new again. And he's actually kicked it into overdrive. For however fast you remember Rich Rod going when he was here, it's even faster now. So that's a big part of it. So no, actually not a whole lot of difference in the offensive system. It's just honing it and executing it and doing what you do well.
All right, on the football side, it'll be October 10th in Morgantown, West Virginia, Arizona, West Virginia. First off, the basketball matchup coming up here at McHale Center. Brad, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Have a great call.
Anytime. Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Brad Howe, radio analyst for the West Virginia Mountaineers, with your scouting report for today.
And that's the lowdown on the team U of A is about to face on the hardwood. The Scouting Report has been brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960. Here to get you there. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Hughes Federal Credit Union has an online account that fits your needs and lifestyle. With our free checking account, there are no monthly fees and no minimum balance. 24/7 mobile and online banking, unlimited bill pay, a free Visa debit card with your choice of designs, and a vast network of fee-free ATMs. Or upgrade to a checking plus rewards account that offers discounts, deals, valuable services, and so much more. It's easy to sign up online at hughesfcu.org/checking. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Now that's what I call savings. If you're looking for a real truck, get up to $7,500 off a new 2026 Chevy Silverado, plus up to $2,500 off a 2026 Chevy Equinox, and $8,500 off the Equinox EV. It's all happening now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Truck tough deals, real savings. Call us at 747-8000 or see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing.
A neighborly company. Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary. Call ahead's welcome or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down. Turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down, into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Well, they're going to go big again. Mustafa Cham back, Baba Miller back, and Kirk Kriisa, the former Wildcat, making his first appearance. Sans the headband.
Let's take a look at the Right Way rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, hour number 2 of our show here is we're getting you set for the Arizona Wildcats and the West Virginia Mountaineers. We're going to shine a spotlight on a cat. Ivan Karchinkov is off to a stellar start to his freshman campaign here at the University of Arizona. And Ryan Hansen, the radio analyst for your Arizona Wildcats, caught up with him. We'll hear their conversation. DK sort of with TL. There was no press conference this week, but there was a question asked in the postgame press conference this past week that fits a subject matter that I've been talking about a lot on the show this week, and that is where Arizona is currently with their three-point shooting. It is a conversation that has been talked a lot on the national level as it relates to maybe one of the weaknesses on this team that is a unanimous number 1 in the country. We'll check the scoreboard for today. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. I've got my Arizona Gym Cats hat on. Another big win for the Gym Cats last night as they continue to take down ranked opponents, knocking off Townsend at the McHale Center last night. Shout out to John Court and all the ladies on another tremendous performance as that program is really rolling well right now in John's 7th season. We'll get your view from courtside coming up a little bit later. Damian Alameda, sports director at Channel 13 KWLD, is going to be at the ball game tonight. He'll check in and give us his thoughts, first time this year, on this number 1 ranked Arizona Wildcats basketball team. Beat the books. Can we do that? The Casino del Sol doesn't want us to, but Arizona is a 17.5-point favorite tonight. Your over-under is 144.5, and everybody is plus, in terms of us, everybody is plus or even on the season so far through 38 plays. Nothing wrong with that. Starting lineups, we'll have those for you coming up a little bit later, courtesy of Rockin' K. We'll also check the availability report. That is currently unsponsored, so if you want to be the sponsor of our availability report, give us a call here, 520-887-1000, 520-887-1000, and you could put your name on the availability report when we tell you every game who can play and who cannot.
Maybe like a
play.
doctor's clinic or
exactly
physical therapy.
There you go. If you're into any of that, if that is your business, put your name on that availability report and become a sponsor of Arizona Wildcats football and men's basketball, as well as women's basketball. And I don't know if we're going to be doing the availability reports during baseball and softball, but maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see. I think it's mostly the basketball and football side of it, but who knows? So Kirk Kriisa returned, played 1 minute in the game the other night, obviously coming off a shoulder injury that was probably more just a show to get him in there and on the court, where he played for 3 seasons more than actually putting him in there to really try to get excuse me, anything done for Cincinnati. Tommy Lloyd, though, did have an interaction with Kriisa before the game.
It was great. Kerr's a really good player, and I really appreciate, what he brought to our program when he was here. And, for me, he was a critical piece. He was somebody that I didn't recruit that, we were able to kind of re-recruit and get him to stay here. And he was a really good point guard in our system. I mean, he got us playing north-south. He got us playing east-west in the half court. He was a good shooter. He was a kind of a big moment guy. And, I don't think we get off, to the foundational build we did if we didn't have Kerr. So I'll always appreciate what he brought to the table for us.
Yeah, and it was a situation, obviously, Kerr wasn't completely healthy. That first year that Tommy was here, that Sweet 16 team, the one that lost to Houston in the finals, and then obviously the second year the team went up to Sacramento and got upset by Princeton in the first round, and that was effectively the end of Kerr's tenure here. But again, a young man who, I've said it before, was the kind of player that I love to cover because he had a personality, and sometimes you don't necessarily always get that from guys at this particular level.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no doubt that he was gregarious and outgoing, and that's, was never lacking confidence. That final game, do you know the stats in Kerr's final game in an Arizona uniform?
Would that be the Princeton game?
The 1 for 7 from the field, 4 turnovers and 2 assists in a 4-point loss as the number 2 seed over the 15 seed Princeton Tigers. That was the worst probably game of that era, just because he played 36 minutes in that game. But there's no doubt. I mean, what Coach Lloyd said there, Kelvin. I mean, without Kerr Kriisa, that confidence, that swagger he brought the first couple of years. We all remember the first year there were some eligibility concerns based on him coming over from Europe, so he didn't get to play until, I think, January that year.
Yeah.
But his sophomore year, junior year, he was a big part. He and Tabellis, good connection there. He pushed tempo. Obviously, Tabellis rim running. We all remember how many layups Tabellis got right at the rim. A lot of that has to do with Kerr Kriisa pushing tempo and a couple triple-doubles. I mean, when he was on and his shot was falling, he was dynamic. I've always said, my only issue was the interactions with the opponent fan bases and how, geared up he was to talk trash to opponents' fans when he was on the road or at home on the bench. But there's no doubt, Kelvin, that Kerr Kriisa was a big part of the rebuild or building process of building that culture here under Coach Lloyd.
Yeah, yes, he was, and that's, reason why it's a little weird to me. I always think about that, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat, and it'd be weird to me that, guys could do stuff to make people not feel like that about him. But, yeah, man, I thought when he played, he was one of the best guys at passing the ball up. He did a great job of getting that pass up for a lot of the fast breaks. I thought he took a lot of attention off of the other guys with his antics and with the way that he played, so a guy like Tabellis could really go off, because you're thinking about Kerr, pulling up threes from wherever. And I also think him being aggressive from three-pointer was a lot like Caleb Love. He didn't have a lot of guys around him that could create space, that could create shots. And then also we needed to get the ball inside, so I feel like it opened the court up for more inside play. So I thought he did way more good things than he did bad, and he did, like you said, riled up the crowd sometimes, but that was fun to me. That was fun to me sometimes, So, yeah, man, I again, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat, much love to him, for sure.
Wes Miller, the head coach of the Cincinnati Bearcats, on why Kriisa played just 1 minute.
He's okay. It was difficult. I mean, yesterday was the first time he's touched a basketball. I mean, not even just practicing. He hasn't done an individual workout. And I know how bad he wanted to play tonight, but I got to think about the big picture, too. He hasn't practiced. He hasn't been in contact situations yet. And so, I think we need him for the long haul. And if he can put a couple more days together, I think he can continue to get back into our rotation. Obviously, he's a very important piece to this team.
Now, there was a tribute video. Obviously, I don't get down there early enough to see that. There was a tribute video for Kerr Kriisa prior to the game. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many times that's happened, for a player returning to play at McHale Center, but that's going to be something we may encounter in the future, guys.
Well,
a guy that played 3 seasons here, that's a pretty solid length of time, and then you leave and come back. We may see more of that type of thing in the future. The only issue I had with it was they played it kind of early before. I mean, if you're gonna play a video tribute for somebody, play it closer to tip off when there's more people in the building. They kind of played it a little bit earlier than I thought that should have been.
There's
presented.
one other part of that equation you left out. Played here for 3 years, left, and came back 3 years later. Like, how often is that ever going to happen? So clearly he spent enough time on campus, Kelvin, to earn the right to get a tribute video, but you're not going to give a tribute video to someone who plays 3 years, comes back 4 months later. Maybe not. Like, we'll see. But the fact that Kerr had been away from the Arizona program since 2023, I mean, I agree. I think it was deserving. He was always a fan favorite, and especially, to springboard, that Tommy Lloyd era when he took over. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine a tribute video for a player returning, DK, just because that scenario of 3 years on campus, 3 years away is so weird, so odd.
I still want to find out why people booed him. If you booed him, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, what your reasoning was behind that. But so get in on that if you'd like. Right now, though, we're going to shine a spotlight on a current Wildcat.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Ivan Karchinkov is a freshman wing. He's averaging 13 points this season for Arizona. That's in the last 3 games, I should say. Averaging 13 points in the last 3 games while shooting 65% from the floor. And he's got 33 steals on the year. That is second on the team. He has shown an ability to be an impact player at both the offensive and the defensive ends of the floor. Ryan Hansen is the radio analyst for your Arizona Wildcats. As you hear the games here on Wildcats Radio 1290 and KHEAD 107.5, he caught up with Ivan Karchinkov.
A couple of minutes with Ivan Karchinkov, Arizona's superstar freshman. Ivan, you had a couple of tough games last week. What do you think you learned about the Arizona Wildcats' resolve and how you were able to come out with 2 victories?
One thing I definitely learned, we're never giving up. We're always fighting through adversity. And I think that's the biggest thing, that, we have the, winner mentality, that we're always, pushing through, relentless, and, just doing everything just to get the W, even though it can be not, pretty sometimes.
When you look back at that Arizona State game, very physical game, a lot of tough plays. Was that something that you were expecting out of ASU, or was that something different?
Oh, no, of course, especially a derby game. You always expect, to be more physical. You might not get some calls. They're going to be handsy. Of course, it's a derby game. It's about pride. It's about the Arizona State. So no, I knew that coming in, and I expected it to just hit me a little bit different than I thought it would.
You've played in a lot of tough environments, playing in FIBA ball and Euro basketball. Now you've had a taste of Big 12 basketball on the road. How has that compared to the international flavor that you're used to?
I mean, pretty similar. I'm not gonna lie. On the road, tough environment. The fans booing you. I would even say here they're a little bit nicer. Like they're just booing you and saying what you did, like an air ball. But in over there in Europe, they're really might offend you. So in that sense, it's a little lighter, I would say. No, but it's nice. It's really loud. I love playing in crowds like that, home or away.
Ivan, how comforting is it to know that you've got a guy in Tobe Awaka who essentially, if the ball's on the rim, he's going to go get it?
I mean, big time. He's getting every rebound. He's such a fighter. I'm telling him after every game, bro, you're a fighter. You're a monster. Just keep doing that. We really need that from you. And I think he's taking pride in that. And he's being consistent every game.
What have you been working on in practice to make sure that Arizona's getting better and better?
I mean, it's exactly that time. We went back a little bit to do some fundamentals because during the season you kind of lose sight of that because you're just going game to game, scout to scout. So we had a nice little practice yesterday where we just did some fundamentals, some day one stuff, and I think it's a nice little system that we had, and I think we're ready to go on. And plus, we also learned something new, the fundamental stuff. Worked on that.
All right. Thanks for your time. Good luck, Yvonne.
Of course. Thank you, Ryan.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat. Brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
I love when he throws that in reference to Arizona and U of A. It's a derby game because that is the European phrase for rivalry game. So I think I'm going to just use that term all next week, leading into the game. It's the not the Territorial Cup Series, the Derby Series with the kids from down north.
And I also like when I hear guys do what we call speak the same language as their coach. And when I hear him say handsy, I was just telling DK, J-Dub, I had never heard of that term until Coach Lloyd got here, handsy, right? He was the first person that I heard actually say that word. And so hearing a player that comes from Europe, say it as well, it lets you know that they're bought into the system. When you hear players saying the same thing that their coach is saying, speaking the same language, saying the same stuff, so when you're in games and everything, you're saying the same thing, so you understand what your coach is trying to get out of you is huge, and that's part of the reason why they're successful at this point.
There's one issue, DK, is that the actual definition of a derby game is that it needs to be competitive.
Ooh.
Easy now.
Shots.
Easy now. Everybody shots. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on the energy he's getting from his European freshman wing, Ivan Karchinkov.
I think it's really important. I'm okay with that on the road. We don't want to direct it to their fans, but you can direct it to our fans and our bench. I don't think there's anything wrong with using a little bit of emotion to create some energy to help you dig a little deeper. It's an emotional game. The basketball is an emotional game of a bunch of random events. And so I think you got to learn how to obviously control your emotions, but you got to learn how to also use your emotions as a catalyst for energy.
Now, that was the referencing there like a 6-7 possession period there where Ivan Karchinkov got his hand on a ball literally every single possession.
Right.
And after 3 or 4 of those times, he was demonstrative. Now, Kelvin, what I saw was he was feeling himself. It wasn't directed towards anybody. He wasn't even directing it towards Zona Zoo or towards the fan base. Maybe on one of those, he might have thrown his arms up, like, let's make some noise type of thing. But just feeling the energy, like they talk about, how Ivan Karchinkov out there running around like a crazy man is really infectious and everybody kind of feeds off of that. He was feeling himself in those moments and just excited about being able to get his hand, that extra effort to get his hands on those balls, Kelvin. And I felt like that demonstrativeness is great. Like you're really in the moment. You're feeling it. Nobody's going to score on me. You can't get past me. I love that attitude.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just great energy.
All right, it is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the Wildcats, #1 team in the country, and the West Virginia Mountaineers. 8th time these two teams will play in basketball. We've got much more coming up for you. My questions, sort of, DK with TL. A question I might have asked the head coach had I been in the post-game press conference on Wednesday after the win over Cincinnati. That is next. Kelvin Ifan is here. JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature, Factory Direct Mattress, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think first chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and one of the hardest things I witness is when someone passes and they hadn't updated their beneficiaries properly beforehand. We all experience change in our lives, marriage, divorce, kids, and we work very hard for what we have. Leaving your legacy exactly the way you desire is important. This is your reminder to review all of your beneficiary designations today and at least annually. Seek guidance if you need it. Call our office at 520-719-1433 for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704 or jtautoaz.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Burries will get the ball now. Braden spots for a three straight away. Good! Braden Burry's second Lexus of Tucson charity three of the ball game. They have been few and far between.
Braden Burries with just one of 3 threes that the Wildcats made in the game on Wednesday, but they still won the game by 26 points. They've won every game this season. So interesting, I was just going through the stats for today's game. And in terms of the three-point shooting, so the Wildcats are undefeated. They have this season been outshot percentage-wise at the three-point line in 7 games. So 7 of the 19 games. Now, obviously, they've won all 7 of those games. They're 12-0 in games where they have had a higher three-point shooting percentage than the other team. Now, interesting, there's also an adjacent stat in the notes that says what the Wildcats are in games during Tommy Lloyd's tenure when they shoot a higher three-point percentage than their opponent versus shooting a lower three-point percentage than their opponent. In the games where they shoot a higher three-point percentage, the Wildcats under Tommy Lloyd, that's happened 95 times. The Wildcats are 87-8 in those games where they shoot a higher three-point percentage than their opponent. In the games where they don't, so that's, what is my U-High math? Just tell me that is 87 divided by 95. That's 92%. So they win 92% of the time when they shoot a higher three-point percentage than their opponent. In the games where they don't, they are just 42-25. So still they win a majority of those games, but that percentage drops from 92% to 62% when they don't shoot a higher three-point percentage than their opponent.
The only issue with that is volume. So if you're talking about out-shooting percentage-wise, a team that puts up 40, like Alabama, right? Like Alabama's trying to put up 40. What did they break the record for NCAA three-point attempts last year against BYU? Like 57 attempts or something like that. The volume percentage-wise is a problem, Kelvin. And I'll go back to that Princeton loss that Kirk Risa played in his last game. Arizona shot 56% from 2 in that game. 23 out of 41. They went 3 for 16 from the three-point line. That's 19%. So to me, Kelvin, it's not make 2 more threes. It's take 6 more twos. It's the settling for those threes is the biggest issue. And I think this year's team, I mean, clearly they're always going to try to pound the paint, get it to the right at the rim. And this year's team is designed, look at the drivers. I mean, there's so many guys on this team, Karchenkov, Bradley, et al., who are trying to take the ball right at the defense and or getting post-ups from Mo or Tobe. So it's really more the volume. If you see this Arizona team this year shoot 25, 30 threes, Kelvin, at a bad percentage, they're going to lose games because they're not designed like that. This isn't the 2016 Warriors. They're not designed to win games by making a ton of threes at volume. So percentage-wise, I mean, right now they're 7th in the conference. They shoot a better team percentage than BYU. They shoot a better team percentage by Houston by like 4 percentage points. So, I mean, as far as like supplementing your offense, which clearly is crazy efficient, with the three-point shot by keeping the defense honest, I think it's really just this stretch recently of Del Orso. I think he's like 1 out of his last 18, really brings that percentage down because he's one of those guys, Kelvin, you're relying on. You said he's a little in his head. He just has to trust the process and keep his feet set, knock him down.
Yeah, that's it. And again, like you said, that's not our thing, shooting a bunch of threes, right? I mean, why would you do that? And your bigs shoot free throws so well, right? I mean, now if our bigs didn't shoot free throws well, okay, you may need some more extra points, so you may have to try, shooting a 3-ball. So I just think that coaches built this team to where they don't really have to worry about that. I think people are putting a little too much energy into the 3. That's not the way this team is built.
The other part of it is a factor, Kelvin, you always talk about, like, you're not trying to force fouls on another player on the opposing team. However, you're trying to put rim pressure on. You hear that word a lot this year from Coach. If you force the ball inside, if you drive the ball right at the rim, if you find post-ups, you're putting physicality on their bigs. You're putting foul pressure on their bigs. And what have we talked about these last 5 games? Wearing teams down so that the last 10 minutes of games, they just cannot hang with Arizona because they're beat up. They got foul trouble across their front line. And so settling for, especially early, I would love to see nothing more, DK, than this Arizona team never shoot 10 or more threes in a first half. Just get the ball inside, force the ball inside, make sure that you continue with your game plan. And if it opens up and you get wide open threes, Kelvin, because the defense sags in, you got to take those. That's where Toby's threes have come from. That's where Mo's threes have come from this year from that drop. But you're not hunting 3-point shots. You're just taking them within the flow of the offense to make sure you keep them honest.
All right, let's hear from the head coach.
For all the questions you need answered, it's DK with TL. Our David Kelly asks Tommy Lloyd questions, and you get the answers. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
All right, so the 3-point situation. So the Wildcats on the season are hitting their threes at a rate of 36%. And it has at times been closer to 38% on the year. However, and this is maybe my one big issue with this whole thing, is not necessarily how many they're taking, but all of a sudden they're not making them at the rate that they were before. In Big 12 play, that percentage has gone down to 31%. In the last 3 games, that percentage has gone down to 27%. So they're not making their threes at the rate, the ones they're taking, whether that's 10, whether that's 15, whether that's 20. Lately, they're not making them at the rate that they were before conference play started. So Tommy Lloyd asked after the ball game, I believe this one was by Michael Lev. So DK, sort of with TL, courtesy of Michael Lev, the brilliant columnist from the Arizona Daily Star, does this need to be a better three-point shooting team moving forward?
Maybe. I'm gonna let it play out. I mean, and kind of it's a figure it out as it goes deal, and it's a game by game deal. I mean, I would have to see how a team's going to defend us just to force us to shoot a bunch of threes. Like, I mean, I know this: if our guys are standing in the gym by themselves, they make threes. So are you just not going to guard the whole team? I don't know. And put 5 guys in the paint? I don't know, because there's also this thing called transition, and you have to score on us, and you have to rebound on us. So there's so many factors that go into it, and I know isolating that single variable is so easy to do and get fixated on. But there's a lot of components that go into winning a basketball game. I'm watching a lot of college basketball, and I'll see at the end of the game, like, wow, that's a really good team. Oh, they're 6 for 27 from 3, and they're winning a really big game. So it's just game by game a little bit. Now, do I want to go 3 for 13 every day? No, but I'm not going to get hung up on it because I thought we had a few good looks today. I thought Yvonne had a few good looks. He can knock 1 or 2 down, and yeah, just got to hang with it. But to get 28 free throws and 48 points in the paint, man, that's a heavy load to play against.
And those are the questions that you needed answered. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
Now, Kelvin, you talk about guys repeating what their coach is saying. I want to hear the first guy in a press conference that says, we're just going to hang with it.
But you know what? When you watch them play, you can tell they're hanging with it. Because if not, you would see guys jacking threes everywhere. They're not following the game plan. But when you watch this team, they're following it to a T. I mean, nobody is getting out of order. Everybody's playing the right way because they understand when you watch the way that they built this record, it wasn't from three-point shooting. So you would have to be an idiot to start thinking that we have to change something to start winning. I mean, you didn't get to 20-0 or 19-0 by shooting threes. You got here by playing your game.
All I'm hearing is self-sabotage. Like, you know what opposing coaches want? They want Arizona to shoot 43s. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? That's exactly what opposing coaches want.
And J-Dub, the only reason why, and you guys know this, the only reason why more teams aren't running zone is a guy called Toby Awaka, Crevis, and Pete. They rebound too well, DK.
And JB. JB's intelligence against zone right now, like we've seen Tommy Lloyd's teams, Kelvin, struggle in the past versus 2-3. And a lot of that was settling for long threes. We saw Creasy do that a lot. We saw Love do that a lot. And if they make them, great. If they miss them, it could be a long night. But this year's team, Kelvin, against the 2-3 zone, I've seen a lot more action, a lot more interior short passing to the bigs who finished against that 2-3. And after a couple of possessions like that, if you're not settling for those threes, you're not falling into that trap of doing what the defense wants you to do.
And the reason why it's been working is because of the winning. I'll say that again. If they wasn't winning, guys would be taking more threes. Guaranteed. Their parents, their friends, their agents, everybody will be telling them, hey, you need to shoot more threes, for your for the betterment of yourself. But no one's being selfish right now because they're winning. When you're winning, you don't want to go against the grain.
All right, I don't have a dog, but I think this is a reference to dogs here. This comes from our guy, Paul in Phoenix. He says, come on, guys, tell the truth. The fellas are outfitted with shock collars that if they go to shoot the three-pointer, a light jolt of energy gets sent to them, and thus instead of settling for a three-pointer, they're a little bit uncomfortable for it. Therefore, they drive it to the basket. That's my story, and I'm sticking to
Well,
it.
that shot caller is the 25 years of experience that Tommy Lloyd has playing coaching college basketball, and he's seen that. And, not to say that you can't win games. Why did Florida win last year? Because they had the best front line, sure. But Michael Clayton Jr. went Steph. The reason they won those tight games, especially down the stretch, is because Michael Clayton Jr. made a bunch of 25-footers, Kelvin, with two hands in his face. We all saw the highlights. So it's not to say that you can't have guys bail you out late in games by hitting big threes. I will go back to the percentage you were talking about recently, DK, especially in the conference. Delhi's 8 for 43 in his last 10 games. So that's 20%, and that's the guy you rely upon. So if you Delhi's in a little bit of a funk right now. We all know he can knock those shots down. He just has to keep shooting them and stay confident in himself. But I think it's more to say, the question I think I would ask is Arizona struggling from the three these last 10 games, or is it really their best three-point shooter and highest volume three-point shooter individually struggling from three? So, yeah, again, I'll go back. I just think they don't need to shoot a ton of threes. It's more of a bonus if they go away from attacking the paint early and settle for a lot of threes. The only game this year I can remember is Alabama. And the first half of Alabama, what'd they take, 17, 20 threes? I think they started, Kelvin, falling into that. Right. Alabama's sprinting up and down the court and jacking threes up. Let's do that too. Other than that, I can't remember a game where they kind of fell into that we need to keep up with the other team's three-point shoot.
And I add this. I think when Coach built this team, he didn't necessarily recruit three-point shooters on this team. You look at these guys, and that's not their game. Even Brandon Barriers, I don't necessarily think that's his game. You go watch him when he played in high school, he was a bully.
Yeah, mid-range.
Yeah, he took you to the cup. He got to the mid-range. I think he's forced to shoot more threes because Bradley isn't a three-point shooter. That's not something he's going to do. He maybe has 1 3 a game. So you almost had to have Barriers take more threes to open up the court for the big guys. Like I used to say, Caleb Love used to do. I used to think he had to take some of those shots. If not, everybody's going to pack it in. So you have to have that threat of three-point shooters, and right now this team is Barriers and Del Orso, and a lot of times Del Orso isn't in the game, so you only have one real three-point shooter.
Yeah, Karchenkov will let it fly too. Yeah. He's the third guy we don't generally talk about as being a three-point guy, but he is shown, Kelvin, that when he's got a catch and shoot opportunity, he's going to take it. But there aren't a lot of other guys. JB is smart enough to know that his strengths lie in his driving and is facilitating and getting right to the cup and finishing at the rim. So, he's taken less threes, I think, Kelvin, as his career's gone on because he's smart enough to understand that he's much more effective with that rim pressure than he is launching from 20.
All right, we're going to pause 10 seconds here for station identification, and then I've got a surprise for you. I've got something special for you, so hang on. 10 seconds. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
All right. Here's what I got for y'all. Something special, something we normally don't do on the pregame show. I have got one, and this game is sold out. Okay, so today's game is sold out at McHale Center, noon start. Again, if you're heading down, there's not going to be any grass parking. So you got to head to one of the lots today, South Stadium lot, 6th Street Garage, I think it's 2nd Street Garage, one of those garages. Cherry probably is going to be packed. I don't know if you can get into there, but one of those ancillary outer garages, head there because the mall, parking, Grass Center, McHale, Giddings is all closed today because of the weather. The game is sold out. I have one ticket to tonight's game. Today's game. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. I have one ticket to the game, but you're going to have to answer a question to get it. Okay, you're going to have to answer a question to get it in the next segment. All right, before we go to break, I'm going to give you your scoreboard for your what's happening around college basketball today.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, one ticket to today's game I've got. If you need a ducat, as our Cricket likes to say, Cricket slid me a ticket for today's game. Arizona, number 1 Arizona and West Virginia. I got one ticket. So if you got somebody you need to get in, 520-848-1290, but you got to know your Arizona basketball trivia. to get this ticket. We don't give away the Ducks very easily. All right, here's what's happening today in the Big 12. Cincinnati will play at Arizona State. That is a late game, 8 o'clock tonight. Noon, this is the big matchup of the day. Number 6, Houston at number 12, Texas Tech. That's a noon start, ESPN. Houston is 5-0. Texas Tech is 5-1. That's down in Lubbock. 9th-ranked Iowa State is on the road at Oklahoma State today. Central Florida will visit, or UCF, whatever, will visit Colorado today in Big 12. Number 13, BYU. They are next up for Arizona on Monday night. They're going to play a little bit later, so the Wildcats will have a little bit more rest going into that game. 13th-ranked BYU will host Utah today. TCU at Baylor, and number 19, Kansas in a rivalry game against Kansas State today in Manhattan. That is what is happening in the Big 12. Now, top 25. Let's see if we have any finals on the board yet. No finals on the board. These games are in progress right now. Number 5, Duke, playing against Wake Forest at home, trailing early 8-4. Number 7, Nebraska, trying to move to 20-0 to start the season. They are in Minnesota today, playing the Golden Gophers, leading 9-8 at the first time out of the first half. Maryland on the road at number 10, Michigan. And Michigan State, I should say. Michigan State, the Spartans leading that game early 4-zip. 14th-ranked Virginia hosting number 22, North Carolina. Cavaliers up 10-2 early in that game. 15th-ranked Vanderbilt on top of Mississippi State today, 14-4. That's also at the first timeout. And one more at the first timeout. 18th-ranked Clemson trailing down with Damon Stoudemire and Georgia Tech 10-9. Other games today in the top 25. Number 2, UConn will host Villanova. Number 21, Georgia on the road at Texas Tech. We've got Virginia Tech at number 23, Louisville. A battle of top 15 teams as 4th-ranked Purdue will be home against Illinois. Illinois comes in at 7-1. Purdue also 7-1. That, of course, is in the Big Ten. Number 16, Florida will host Auburn. Today, LSU is on the road at number 20, Arkansas. LSU just 1-5. That's the one sport apparently they don't play well at LSU is men's basketball. And San Francisco is at number 8, Gonzaga tonight. The Zags are 8-0 to start play in the West Coast Conference. Final game is number 17, Alabama, hosting Tennessee today. All right. I've got one ticket if you want it, 520-848-1290, but you got to know your U of A basketball history because we don't give away tickets easily here. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day on Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
There's never a good time for plumbing issues.
No.
Honey, my parents are here.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. With Drain Masters in Tucson, not only do you get local, professional, full-service plumbing with 24/7 scheduled or emergency service, you get a lifetime transferable warranty on all house water repiping. So this...
They brought my aunts and uncles, too!
...is gonna be fine. Drain Masters, we do it all. And now offering financing. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. DrainMastersTucson.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe. subscribe.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rocking K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The holidays are over, and right now is the best time to start your home renovation project. At the Window Depot, you get factory direct prices, no installers, no middleman, and serious savings. Windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, all in stock and ready to take home today. Perfect for DIYers and contractors who want to save thousands and get materials fast. New year, new projects at the lowest prices. Shop online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Will get the ball now. Braden spots for a 3 straight away. Good! Braden Burry's second Lexus of Tucson charity 3 of the ball game. They have been few and far between.
So Tommy Lloyd had said, I don't want to go 3 for 13 every night shooting threes. That's because they've gone 3 for 13 exactly the last 2 nights shooting 3 and 4 for 11 the game before that. So 27% the last 3 games shooting 3-pointers for the Arizona Wildcats. All right, I have one ticket to today's game sold out at McHale Center between the Wildcats and the West Virginia Mountaineers. I'm going to give this ticket away, but you have to be able to answer a question. You have to know your Arizona basketball history. So we have got Ron. Ron, you are on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Ron, do you want to go to the game today?
Yeah, I'd love to go to the game today. I don't know if I'm up for the challenge, though.
Ron, how long have you been following the Wildcats?
Oh, shoot. I mean, I went to U of A in 73, so a long time.
Okay, so tell me what the basketball was like in 1973.
Well, that was, Fred Snowden was the coach, and, he brought in a couple of those guys from Detroit, Eric Money and O'Neal Norman, and, kind of turned around some dire whack days,
There you go. That was the beginning of this this modern basketball dynasty that we know as the U of A. All right, so here we go. This is what if you've been following the show today, Ron, we've been talking about Arizona's 3-point shooting, okay? So here's the question that I need you to answer for me, all right? Who is the best all-time 3-point shooter in Arizona Wildcat history. This is percentage. Who shot actually it's for a season and for a career. So he did this for one season, and he also is the record stands for the best career shooter in the history of Arizona Wildcat basketball. What is that player's name?
Oh, geez. You want to say Steve Kerr, but I'm all but sure it's not him, and I'm trying to think of the we had a power forward when we beat Duke in the Sweet 16, and I'm trying to remember his name, but
Derek Williams. You're talking about Derek Williams?
Yeah. I know he had that one great season. I don't know about career-wise, but yeah, Derek Williams, that's who I was thinking of. I know he had one outstanding season shooting threes.
So let me. You want to go with Derek Williams, or you want to go with Steve Kerr?
Well, I don't know. Sounds like you're trying to talk me out of Derek Williams, so I'll go with Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr is the correct answer.
Yes, sir.
Steve Kerr is the correct answer.
Thanks for the help.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Ron, you did say you thought it should be Steve Kerr,
right,
but maybe not. But yeah, the 1 year he was 80 because he tore his knee up in the Goodwill games, right? So the first year that NCAA basketball had the 3-point shot was the 1986-87 season. Was the season he sat out. But his senior year when he came back, 87-88, he shot 57% from three.
Okay. Wait, any idea what Derek Williams had that 1 year when he shot so well from three?
I found the career leaders. I could not find the individual season leaders when I was kind of just going through this real quick here.
I can tell you. Hold on one second.
But I'll let J-Dub look for that one.
Shot.
I'll tell you who the career leaders are, Ron. The career three-point leaders are Steve Kerr at 57.3%, Salim Stoudemire at 46%, 45.8%, so 46%, and Sean Elliott at 42.8%, so 43%. Those are your top three all time.
Derek in his sophomore year shot 56, which is right around there, but I don't think he had the volume to be able to get into that because he only took 74 three-pointers in 38 games. And so I think there's definitely a threshold. I think you have to shoot at least 2 a game to be on those lists, and I think Derek Williams came up just short on that.
Okay.
So, Ron, congratulations. So what I need you to do is I need you to hang on. J-Dub is going to get your cell phone number so I can – do you have a cell phone? I should ask you this. Do you have a cell phone?
I do.
Okay, cool. Because I've got to be able to text you this ticket that I have. So hang on.
Okay.
J-Dub's going to get the cell phone number. I'll text you the ticket, and you're going to the game today. Congratulations.
Hey, I'm heading that way now. Thanks so much, guys.
There you go, Ron. We appreciate you listening. All right. So that okay. So I did find the single season leaders on this. Steve Kerr, 57.3%. That was in 87-88. Derek Williams. Now again, this is just so as according to the Wildcats notes, they put it has to be a minimum of 40 attempts in a season. So Williams qualifies under that realm there, having taken 74. So he's second all-time in a single season, 56.8%. Then Salim in 05, 50.4%. Brendan Lavender, there's a name from the past. 2012, Brendan Lavender, 48.7%. And then top 5, Chris Mills, 48.3 in 93. After that, it goes Nick Wise, Harvey Mason, who just qualifies, having taken 43s in 88. Sean Elliott, who took 87 in 88. So there's 3 guys. That was the first Final Four team, if I'm not mistaken, 87-88 team. So there's 3 guys from the first Final Four team that are in the top 10 single season three-point percentage shooting. Kerr, Mason, and Sean Elliott. And then Damon, 9th, and Khalid, 10th, all time. There you go. How about that? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. All right, so let me make sure where I am in my clock here. Let's hear here from Ivan Karchinkov. So the Wildcats are undefeated. They are number one in the nation. They got all the votes in the AP poll. They got all the votes in the coaches poll. So there's 61 votes in the AP poll. They got all those. There's 31 votes in the coaches poll. They got all of those. Ivan Karchinkov on how this team has tried to tune out the outside noise of being the undisputed, unanimous number one team in the country.
I mean, myself, personally, I don't really, if I see it, I don't really think about it. I just think, we're playing game to game. We're trying to win every game. And, it just seemed to happen that we're 19-0. We want to keep going. We're just going to take every game the same, like the first one, getting better, executing the game plan, and not thinking, oh, we got to, stay on the streak or whatever. We're just, we're going out there to win.
Yeah. Braden Burries chimed in on the pressure of being number one.
I think we got like a pretty tight circle. So I don't think like myself, I don't really look at it too much because I feel like we haven't really won anything, like no championship or none. So there's to be happy because we're undefeated, but we haven't really accomplished what we want to accomplish yet. So we still got a lot to improve on.
Kelvin Ifan. I mean, the best part about all this is staying humble, not getting, not reading your press clippings and understanding you're too big for your britches and all of that. Because we've seen a lot of teams get derailed in the history of college basketball because they have success and then it starts becoming individual goals and all of that. But to a man, Kelvin, how does it feel to hear these Juve players talking about on to the next one? We're not trying to, care about who's number one right now. We're trying to be as best we can for the next game and on into March.
Yeah, I believe them because when I look at a team that has 5 guys in double figures, that lets you know right now they have a bigger goal. They're not really necessarily worried about who's trying to get the stats so they can get to the NBA or whatever other dream they have. It looks like their real dream is winning a national championship. They're not getting caught up in any individual thing. So, yeah, it is, great to hear him talking like that because, one, you see it in their play. You see it by so many different guys leading the team in scoring and him struggling but still coming out and playing and doing the little things on the court to make himself effective and useful for this team.
And real quick, you know what the NBA is looking for right now, David Kelly? They're looking for guys who can do everything. Because why? Because there's a lot of empty stat 20 and 10 guys right now in the NBA that don't lead to wins. You know who's on the trading block? LaMelo Ball, right? Guys who are putting up, we just saw Trey get traded, right? There's guys out there who are putting up crazy numbers. If you're out there in college trying to, Kelvin, impress scouts by showing you're a 2010 guy or whatever, but you're not diving for loose balls, you're not boxing out hard, you're not finding your teammates cut when they're open for a cut right by the rim, those little things is what NBA scouts these days are looking for because there's a lot of guys out there trying to get shots up in the NBA. You need those Pelle Larsons of the world. You need those guys who sacrifice their own stats because that's what makes winning basketball. Look at OKC. I mean, that's literally what they did. Shea and a bunch of guys sacrificing. So they're really looking for those players who can do everything and aren't worried about getting their own all the time.
All right, let's find out if we can beat the book today.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, 19 games, 2 plays a game, 38 plays, DK plus 10 so far, J-Dub plus 8, Kelvin even. So everybody's on the winning side so far this season. We'll start with J-Dub today. West Virginia getting 17.5 points against Arizona.
I mean, I know they've struggled versus Houston. Who's the other one they played on the road?
Iowa State.
Iowa State. Yeah, they got blown out by the 2 good schools on the road. I don't like the matchup for them. I think Arizona definitely has an advantage with their size. So 17 is a big number, but I could see Arizona covering that today. I think Arizona wins by 19-20.
Okay. Kelvin.
Totally agree with J-Dub, man. I keep trying to figure out a way that they can make this a closer game, and I just can't see it.
It's interesting. I mean, I was listening to some of their pressers last night, and I really am impressed by a lot of these kids that are on this team. I just don't know that they've necessarily. Again, it's a brand new team of kids together. There's not 1 minute back, as you heard our guy Brad House say, not 1 minute back from last year's team. And I just think that type of cohesion takes some time to get right, and I just don't know that you're going to try to get that right in this type of environment, in a sold-out environment here in Tucson. So I'm going to take the Wildcats and lay the 17.5 points as well. Over-under 144.5 today. We'll go in reverse. We'll start with me there. I like to play the over, and the last two games have been the under, but I'm going to stick with the over today. I think the Wildcats will get into the 90s today.
Yeah, I have to agree with that today. I don't see West Virginia scoring a lot over 50, 55-ish.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, it's going to be tough for them today.
They
to be able to
shoot 45% as a team for the season. And this Arizona defense is very underrated and holds a lot. What have the opponents shot versus Arizona recently? Low 40s.
Yeah. So over then for everybody.
Oh, yeah, I haven't said. I think that Arizona will get theirs. I think West Virginia probably, I'd say 60s. But 1-4, that's a low number. So, yeah, definitely over.
All right, so everybody's taking the Wildcats, laying 17.5 in the over, so we won't have any movement in the standings, but we'll see if there is movement on the money side after the game.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
You for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Now that's what I call savings. Looking for strength and value? Get $2,000 off a new 2025 Chevy Trailblazer, $3,000 off a 2025 Chevy Traverse, and up to $4,500 off a 2025 Chevy Colorado. That's real muscle, real savings. Right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Call us at 747-8000, see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary, call ahead's welcome, or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thama Ogden Nation.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice. The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip-off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Kick it out to Bradley. Jaden working his way down right of the lane. His runner, a tough shot, up and good. My goodness, I don't know how that went in, but it counts.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, final hour of our show here today as we take you right up to 11:30 and the network coverage with Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen. So we will get our pest of the game here. Who will be that Mountaineer that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today? That's brought to you by Central Pest Control. We will get our view from courtside. Damian Alamidas, longtime sports director at Channel 13 KOLD, and my former colleague will join us. We'll get Damian's thoughts on Arizona basketball through the 19-game run that has led them to being the undisputed, unanimous #1 team in the country. Keys to the game, starting lineups, all of that is still coming up straight ahead. We will also continue to hear from your Wildcats. Tommy Lloyd will, in fact, right now in this segment, hear from some of the guys from the other team as we kind of start to dissect who might just be that guy that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin in this game. Could it be, and I know I'm going to butcher this again, Harlan Obioha? Harlan Obioha. He's, again, this is a team of transfers. He has played at UNC Wilmington, one of my former hometowns, and he has also played at Niagara in his career. He is one of the big men on this team. Last season, 17 double-digit scoring efforts, for the Seahawks. That's the UNC Wilmington Seahawks. He also had at least 5 games where he had 10 rebounds. He had been struggling to do that this season, but he is starting to get back to that, he says.
I think it's looking to score more when I get it down low and not overthinking anything. I think it's, being a guy who can get 6 offensive rebounds a game. That's just something, I've been able to do throughout my career. So just going back to just being a junkyard dog and just doing what I've done my whole career.
Could Harlan Obihoha possibly be that Mountaineer that gets under the Wildcats' skin? Or maybe it's going to be the sharpshooting Honor Huff. Honor Huff, another transfer to this roster, and he's been that guy that when Harlan Obihoha can get that offensive rebound and kick it back out, Honor Huff has been the guy that's been knocking down 3-point shots off of some of those second chance opportunities.
I mean, I think my teammates get more excited than me after some of those big shots, so just to be able to get them going, keep building on our momentum, I think those are just kill shots, I feel like, especially in that type of fashion, I will be honest. So I just think building on the momentum we already had or creating that momentum is what those shots do, and then obviously having my teammates rally around it is big time. It just shows the camaraderie we have as a group.
And speaking of three-pointers made, Honor Huff is second in the conference in 3-point shots made this season. He has knocked down 70 of those. Ross Hodge, I keep saying Russ Hodges, the great New York Met. Ross Hodge likes what he gets from Honor Huff, but knows he's got other guys that can also shoot on this team.
Yeah, I think, really all year long. I mean, Honor's probably been our most consistent player on a night-in, night-out basis, but all those other guys have had big games in big moments, And, again, the more ways you can win a game, probably the better. And, he gets so much attention that opens up the floor for other people, and those guys, stepped into those moments really well.
And you know who else is shooting the ball well from 3 since the start of Big 12 play? How about the transfer we spoke of earlier in the show from North Dakota, Trayson Eaglestaff? He is making 49% of his 3-point shots since the start of Big 12 play, and they have a home upset over Kansas. He's averaging 11 points on the season. Let's hear from Trayson Eaglestaff, who is a Native American. We'll talk about that as well, but let's hear from him on the strides that he has made in this season for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Kind of just show up and enjoy the moment. Obviously, I know my personnel and the scout that I have against somebody else, but I never tell myself I'm going to go off a certain game. I never have since I was a kid. That's never been my type, but especially when I get in the game, when that first tip-off starts, my whole mind just goes blank, and then you just play basketball. So I've never been the type of guy to look before the game and be this is when I'm going to go kill, or this one I'm going to go get a good game, but just close my eyes, tip-off game, and then play basketball.
Trey, what makes you effective late in the shot clock?
I would say my size and my ability just to handle the ball and get a shot off. I mean, just with those type of things where I can get extra space if I have to, or just shoot over somebody if it really comes down to it.
Are you thinking a little bit less and reacting more than maybe you were early in the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just telling Bilo that he was asking me where my confidence came, and I was like, Bilo, there's a game where I didn't take a shot. I was like, there's a game where I played 10 minutes. There's a game where I scored 1 point against a mid-major team. It's just understanding how to play with these players and understanding what to do, and then it's just playing basketball at the end of the day. And that's something I didn't really do right away in the season, and I'm grateful that coaches have been staying by my side and helping me through that.
Tracing on that, in the frame of the season, do you feel like you're starting to play your best basketball?
I hope not. I hope that comes in the March area. I hope that's when I get that stride. But, I'm definitely trying to play the best I can. And I think defensively right now I'm the best I've ever been in my life, which is a blessing. Shout out to Coach Hurl and Coach Hodge for really getting on me about that. And they've really pushed me a lot, so I'm really grateful for the coaches for that.
Trayson, you look really comfortable using the board on those 4, 6, 8 footers. Always been a part of your game, something you've developed later?
Oh, like the backboard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I've always had that since I was a kid. My grandpa's really old school from a small town in North Dakota. like really blue collar guy. Like, doesn't know much about basketball, but like he knows like the fundamentals of like Larry Bird, like used the backboard. So like when I was a kid, he's always emphasized like you have to use the backboard. Like if you hit the top right of the corner, twirling every time, like it's a cheat. So ever since I was a kid, I've always like known to use backboard. But obviously it's a new era of basketball. But it always helps for sure.
Trayson Eaglestaff, who is from Mandan, North Dakota, and is a member of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, a reservation youngster. And again, if we know anything about res kids, we see a lot of them here in Tucson playing up at Pima. Those kids generally know how to shoot the basketball.
When I was in school, it was Clifton, I think, was it? Like, man, there were some guys, because we played in 1A Greenfield. So, like, Kelvin, we played a lot of the reservation schools. And, like, every single school shot. Like, every single school shot threes and shot them well.
Yeah, I coached at St. Gregory's, and the same. You know, we played a lot of schools, and three-point shooting. I mean, they sprint the court, get wide open shots. So yeah, I'm not surprised with it with his play. I was looking at their stats and I was like, well, so we know who's shooting threes on their team because they only have two guys. You know, with Hunter Huff, who we talked about right before this, with 180 threes. Like, man, he almost got more 3-point attempts than our whole team besides take off a couple guys. But and then Eaglestaff has 93 attempts, and there's not another guy with more than 36. So we know who's shooting threes for this team.
Absolutely. All right. That is a little bit of a look at some of the guys that might be pests. Let's find out who that person, though, is going to be.
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, who's going to be that pest of the game today? We'll start with Kelvin Efon. Kelvin, who you got?
Yeah, I gotta go with Trayson Eaglestaff. I mean, 6 threes in the last game versus ASU. He's pretty hot. 37.5 for the season, so he's almost 40% for the season, and he's 6'6", 190, so he can get that shot off. I definitely think he's a guy that could be a pest by knocking down some shots today.
Trayson Eaglestaff is one. Yeah, J.W. Madden, who do you like?
I'm going to go the other direction, and I'm going to go defense, and I'm going to go with Jasper Floyd because it transfers the leading steal guy for that team. Pesky guy gets in the passing lanes, 37 steals on the season. That's always an issue. I think if Arizona gets loose with the balls, especially at home, they're not maybe taking the opponent too seriously. It's those live ball turnovers that potentially could lead to what Trayson said right there, which are either offensive rebound threes or transition threes. So you definitely got to take care of the ball. So to me, it's Jasper Floyd today.
Well, I think, again, I've said before, if a team is going to come into McHale Center and win, it's going to have to be by way of the three-point shot. And so I'm leaning on two guys. I'm going to go with Honor Huff just because, again, I think he's the guy that this is a team that sounds like likes to work the clock down, take a lot of late threes kind of situation. And Honor Huff's been a guy that's shown that he's very proficient at that this season. So if he gets hot, along with what we've seen the last two games, Eaglestaff is taking more. He was kind of taking 4 or 5 threes. Now he's taking more, around 8 to 10 threes per ball game, as I'm sure they've told him, hey, that's a shot you can make. Let's see more of that. So I think those two guys today are going to be really the two guys in terms of the offensive side of it that you're going to have to be focused on shutting down. So I'll go with Honor Huff as my guy.
9.5 per. For the 5'10", Honor Huff takes 9.5 threes per, Kelvin, on the season.
Man, that's a lot.
Those are the guys we think will get underneath the Wildcats' skin today.
That's our Pest of the Game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, much more coming up for you straight ahead. We're going to chat with Damian Alameda from Channel 3. Get your view from courtside. That's next. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day continues on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Now that's what I call savings. Truck buyers, this one's for you. Get up to $7,500 off a new 2026 Chevy Silverado and up to $4,500 off a 2025 Chevy Colorado. 2 tough trucks, one place to save. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Call us at 747-8000. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Done Right Services, Tucson's trusted provider for air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical needs, is hiring. Done Right Services is hiring talented and motivated individuals for manager and supervisory positions, as well as electrical, HVAC, and plumbing technicians. Done Right Services offers competitive salaries, health and dental benefits, generous PTO, a company vehicle, and advancement and leadership opportunities. Join the Done Right Services team today. Fill out an online application at donerightservices.com.
Your support has given me a safe place to sleep, a shower, and food in my stomach. Thank you.
The programs here have been life-changing. Thank you.
Thanks to your support, I now have the resources to maintain my sobriety.
Here I found a safe place to heal, and I found my way to God. Thank you.
Your support has made me a better mother and provided me a safe place in my recovery with me and my children.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you would like to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Flurries back cross court. Karchinkov. Throw it down left corner. Bradley passed up the three. Drives it to the bucket. Put it up and score it.
Zone defense for Cincinnati. Arizona doesn't settle. They take a lay-in.
It's time now for us to take you down to the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser serving Southern Arizona over 30 years.
All right, let's head out to McHale Center. Arizona, number one in the country, taking on West Virginia today. It'll be sold out. There is weather. Again, mall parking is closed today on the grass. That's Giddings Lawn. That's Center Mall. That's McHale Mall. So you're going to have to go to one of the garages today. Damien Alameda joins us now. He is the sports director at Channel 13 and Fox 11. He has been in this market for a long. Damien, how long have you been here? Almost is it been 20 years yet?
Oh man, July it'll be 20 years.
20 years in July. Wow.
Yes, sir.
You have seen a lot of Arizona basketball over the course of those 20 years. You have eaten a lot of food on the NCAA trail. If you follow Damien Alameda, you know he is a foodie whenever he goes out onto the road. What are your impressions of this number one team in the country, Damien?
They're just fun, man. They're a fun bunch to watch. They're so balanced. They're, I think the thing that stands out to me is the fact that they are so balanced, that there isn't one designated or two designated weapons that you have to zero in on, and if you cut the heads off of them, the rest of the team falters. This squad as a whole, they're like the definition of a team with their 8-man rotation pretty much set. It's just been really, really fun to watch.
When you look at, obviously, the breakdown of this whole thing, you've got, probably one of the best guards in the country, point guards in the country, in Jaden Bradley. Very understated guy, but it seems like almost like the kind of guy that we've been waiting for to lead this program. We've had a lot, and that's not to take anything away from the other point guards that have come through here recently, but you need your point guard to be a certain type of leader, and he has that. What impresses you most about just the demeanor of Jaden Bradley?
I feel like there's a lot of T.J. McConnell in Jaden. I really do. And a lot of that stems from the leadership personality of both of them. You say understated. They are understated, but you can tell that the fire, the emotion just like bubbles within. They have a commanding presence without being domineering, and you know for a fact that they're like bamboo, man. They don't waver. They don't waver at all. And the team follows where they lead.
Bamboo. There you go. I've not heard that one in terms of a reference, but I like that. I like the connotation there that you bring from him. We're talking with Damien Alameda. He is the sports director at KOLD Fox 11. It is your view from courtside. It is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona now for 30 years. We were debating earlier in the year, Damien. I'll ask you this because you've been around 20 years, so you've seen a lot of guys. Matt Muehlbach earlier in the year said he felt like Toby Awaka, in terms of pure strength, was the strongest Wildcat that he's ever seen. Where would you put him in the annals of the 20 years of guys you've seen? Big men that you've seen play the power forward position here at the University of Arizona.
All right, so first of all, who am I to argue with Matt Muehlbach? All right, the dude knows infinitely more than I do. So if he says Toby Awaka is the strongest, I'm going with Matt's impression that Toby Awaka is the strongest. When you talk about overall strength, never mind the position. Yeah, Toby is up there. He's got to be like 1 or 2 overall from my experience. It'd be like either him or Tarczewski, because Tarczewski was a flipping wall. But Toby, I just think it's hilarious because the pregame leading up to the Alabama game, when Nate Oates stood up there and made the crowd, he was actually very sincere about it, about trying to go to the Boar and see if you could get some of Alabama's linemen who had played football to join because of Arizona's physicality, because he makes the comment that because Arizona has some guys who could play linemen, for a fact he was singling out Toby Awaka specifically. I stood next to that dude. You stood next to that dude. That guy is just straight concrete. He is like all muscle. He is all muscle. Like, if he wanted, he could flick me with his pinky toe and I'd fly like half court. No joke. He's up there, man. His strength is unparalleled.
And then when you look at these four freshmen that the Wildcats have had, and each one of them brings a little bit something different. And now we haven't necessarily had this conversation yet, but because they've all kind of been, they've all kind of had their pockets. But for me, and I'm sure this would be up for debate, I think Ivan Karchinkov to me has been the most consistent of them from day one to game 19.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. Of all the freshmen, they all do have their strengths, but for me, we talk about balance, we talk about consistency, we talk about overall performance. Ivan is that. He's just a dude who quietly, maybe in the first 3 quarters of the season, he was quietly filling up the box score. Now he's not so quiet anymore, right? Now he's bringing out that emotion. You're seeing the flexing and just the growls, the roars, and I love it. Ivan, to me, is so far the highlight of the freshman class because of everything he brings to the team. Obviously, Ko is the name. Braden has definitely come into his own as just, the consistent shooter. But Ivan across the board, especially on defense, which you cannot, you can't, I guess, pigeonhole his play as being offensively strong or defensively strong. Across the board, he's strong, but his defense keeps this engine going, right? Like, it's just, you can tell he's a different breed. And by that, I mean, you can tell he's played overseas, he's played professionally, he has played Euroball, and he's been able to translate all that experience into a lot of success for the Wildcats here in Tucson.
Damian Alameda is our guest. Let's pause 10 seconds here for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
We are chatting with the sports director over at KOLD CBS 13, Fox 11. His name is Damian Alameda. It is your view from courtside. It is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona now for over 30 years. It's #1 U of A and WVU today at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up in 1 hour at noon time. Damian, in terms of just the one topic that we've kind of been talking a little bit about, and I think the one topic that a lot of national people are focusing on as it relates to what might be the one thing that slips up this team, and it could be the 3-point shooting. We talked a lot about it earlier in the show. This is a team. My whole thing is I'm fine with this as a team that maybe doesn't take a lot of threes, but of late they haven't been making the ones that they take. Where are you on how critical that piece is going to be for this team moving forward?
I mean, let's be honest. It's not a problem until it becomes a problem, right? Like, the thing is that, and I distinctly remember this, when Kevin O'Neill was interim head coach here, he made the crack after one game, and I don't remember what the one game was.
That's how far Damian goes back. He's talking about Kevin O'Neill, folks.
Exactly. He said that you can't beat threes with twos, all right? Fair. But you also can't beat twos with turnovers, takeaways, missed shots, and going up against strong defense. So as far as I'm concerned, if Arizona's defense can continue being one of their greatest strengths, and assuming that Arizona's offense can continue just being more physical than every other team they come across, it's not a problem. That being said, right, let's see what happens when they take on Iowa State. Let's see what happens when they take on Texas Tech, 2 of the top 3-point shooting teams in the country. And let's see how well they're able to adapt to that kind of environment. Because, yeah, it is concerning, but at the same time, if Tommy Lloyd's comfortable with where they're at, then, I mean, who the heck am I to argue with him, right? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, Tommy's only like one of the most impressive coaches in terms of wins in the first 5 years of a career that we've ever had in college basketball. So clearly he is doing something right there. Damien, update us on everything that's happening on the TV side of things. You guys were out at the bowl game in San Diego 20 years now. Did you think you'd be here 20 years later when you got here back, obviously, in 2006?
Man, no. No. Tucson was supposed to be a stepping stone onto bigger and better things, but then I realized that bigger and better was Tucson, Arizona. And my girlfriend at the time came out here. We got married, and she loved it out here, and we decided to plant roots. And we have a family now, and Tucson has given us zero reason to leave and every reason to stay. So here we are.
And you're going to have kids in high school here soon.
My oldest is in high school.
Oh, that's right.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. Is she an
I know.
athlete?
What's that?
Is she an athlete?
She is not exactly an athlete. She's a big-time cook, which I know is shocking given my propensity for food. So, yeah, she enjoys the kitchen quite a bit, and so I enjoy partaking in whatever experimental cuisine she decides to come up with.
All right, what's the best thing she cooks for you?
Dude, she makes this lasagna.
Oh.
She actually made this lasagna when I think she was if I recall correctly, she might have been 6th or 7th grade. So it was a couple years back, and it was like one of the best meals I've ever had, honest to God. I don't know what she did. All she told my son and I was, leave the house, and I'll call you when I'm ready. And we came back, and she had this entire Italian dinner set up with lasagna, the garlic bread, everything. First off, it looked immaculate. But from just a taste perspective, I was blown away. I was like, baby, this is like, let's frame this. Like a picture of it, frame it, and then, I mean, it was amazing. Yeah.
I like that. I like that she told you guys to get out so I can do my thing.
Yeah. No, she is the queen of the kitchen. And if she says I'm going, I'm saying you cook, I leave. Because I know whatever's coming is going to be delicious.
There you go. That's awesome. Now you're down in McHale right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, set the scene. What's it look like? What's happening right now? For folks that are,
I'll be honest. I'm standing right in front of the weight room. So I'm actually not on courtside because it's a little loud down there. They got the music blaring.
Oh, there you go.
But the crowd is filling up. I can hear them for sure.
There you go. Should be an outstanding game. Sellout crowd today, Arizona and West Virginia. Damien, absolutely always an opportunity to talk to you. I know you'll be on the road for the postseason, so we will check in with you again from wherever those stops may be as the Wildcats try to get back to the Final Four. Interestingly enough, they announced this week they're going to honor the last Final Four team from 2001, 25 years ago. So we'll get a chance to honor those guys coming up here later this season. It's been long overdue for this program to get back to the Final Four. So hopefully we've got you going there somewhere this year.
Indianapolis, here we come.
There you go. Damien, appreciate it, brother.
Always, man.
That is your view from courtside.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Southern Arizona for over 30 years.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe. spot.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management. As a boutique fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or royaltucson.com.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Ready to update your kitchen, create a spa-inspired bathroom, or a backyard oasis? Put the equity in your home to work for you with a home equity line of credit from Hughes. Borrow between $10,000 and $250,000 and enjoy flexible terms and no prepayment penalties. With Hughes Federal Credit Union's one-rate guarantee, there's no switching rates based on your credit score. All our members get our same low rate. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/HELOC. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Certain restrictions apply.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Throw it high for James. A little crossover. James drives right on Burries, turns, a little up in her, blocked by Krivas, grabbed by Awaka out of the air. Push it, Ed. Here's Bradley on the run. Jaden loves to go coast to coast, put it up over the rim. No good, but tipped in by Mo Krivas.
Looking for some big things from Mo Krivas. That offensive rebounding so key for this team. Wildcats rank among the nation's best in rebounding margin this season. They are second overall, scoring margin 5th, field goal percentage 7th, fast break points 10th. All those things have led to a 19-0 start, the best since the 2013-14 team that started that season 21-0. Wildcats can match that with a win today and then another victory in a quick turnaround, which will be Monday night. Again, they'll get a little bit of extra rest because their game starts at noon. BYU will play at 3:30, so a little bit of extra rest if on this quick turnaround. First time this year, the Wildcats will have to play a Saturday to Monday turnaround, and big Monday on the road in Provo. That is going to be, it's the game that we've all kind of been looking at over the last month as the next real big test. Not that you want to look past today's game for sure. You don't want to do that. All right, Anthony Del Orso has been in a little bit of a slump. the last few games. He had the breakout game he was slumping going into the game at TCU. Then he had the breakout performance there, shot the ball well, 7 of 16, made some threes that night. But since then, it has been a rough go. He's missed his last 14 shots over the last 3 games. It could be actually more in terms of missed shots if you go back to his final few shots in that TCU game, but he's at least missed the last 14 he's taken over the course of the last 3 games. 0 for 6 from 3, but Tommy Lloyd not giving up on his senior guard from Australia.
Hang with it. What you do is really hard. Hang with it, because I love Delhi. I love how he's handling this, and I have a real strong belief that we're going to get the best from Delhi, when we need it. And not that you don't want it or need it every night, but he is going to deliver. So I'm going to hang with him. I'm not going to change anything.
There you go. The head coach showing confidence, and you have to. You have to at this point because, again, you could get that Delhi we saw in Fort Worth, 6 of 12, 3 threes. That's kind of the norm, and I think he's just got to figure this out. And the only way he's going to figure it out is by the head coach continuing to throw him out there. Now, minutes have gone down slightly. He's maybe under 20 minutes over the course of these last 3 games and played just 14 in the game last year. So, the coach is going to hang with him, but he may be just a little bit more careful in picking and choosing where he hangs with him.
Yeah, and I think that's more so about defense. Making sure that there's guys out there that he can guard and it's not hurting the team. I think that's more what it's about. I think his threat of making the 3, being that everybody in the country knows that he's a guy that can make the shot, makes him still valuable on your team, especially when at practice your guys probably know he's the best 3-point shooter probably at practice. We practice with him every day, so we understand what he brings to the table. He's a 2-year guy, so he's been around a little bit, so that gives Coach more trust in him because he knows him. He's his guy. So I just think, again, Coach is right. I think a lot of times people don't understand. If you do him wrong, the starters start to look at you differently. People forget that the guys that start and the bench guys are buddies. They're friends. They're family. They're in this battle together to get to this championship. So a lot of times the guys watch how coaches treat guys when they're struggling, right? And so for Coach to continue to give him his minutes that he earned, he ain't giving him anything, minutes that he earned through practice and what he's done previous. I think it really goes a long way with the players of, respecting Coach even more.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a chaotic game. I mean, the best shooters of all time, the Steve Kerrs, the Larry Birds, they have all had bad stretches, individual games and or stretches of games. I'll tell you who hasn't lost confidence in Delhi's ability to knock down shots is his teammates. I mean, Kelvin just said it right there. Yes, you need to prove as a coaching staff that you're going to treat everybody with respect, but those teammates, Kelvin, have seen Delhi's form. They know what he's capable of. You said it the other day when he missed that free throw jumper. That was the only one I had an issue with, is he had a clear out where his defender was on his heels. He stopped. Defender went back underneath the rim. He had 8 feet of space, and he missed it from about 14 feet. Now, that's a shot he's going to knock down 95% of the time. Delhi just needs to get out of his own head and trust his mechanics, trust his process. He's been working his whole life to be a great shooter. And you mentioned the scout, Kelvin. I'll tell you one thing, DK. If Delhi goes another 5 games going 0 for 15, the 6th game, you know what defenders are going to do? They're going to sprint out at him when he catches the ball beyond the 3-point line because they know that he can knock that shot down. So percentages and game stretches are one thing, but the ability to do it, next game he could go 7 for 8. It's just that simple.
And I would add this, as you said about that scout, what ends up happening, the more he missed, the more the coaches on the other team is saying, this could be the game he breaks out. I don't want it to happen against us. So he's always going to be a threat, and he's always going to open up the court to his side because guys are going to have to respect him, and that gives driving lanes for guys like Bradley and Burris.
Last game out, it was the Arizona Wildcats holding Cincinnati to 51 points. Lowest scoring output in a game by a Power 4 team this season against Arizona. Ross Hodge looked at that and talked about maybe one thing his team needs to do to take advantage of an aggressive defense like Arizona.
Yeah, some of it is you kind of take what the defense gives you. They're an aggressive defense. They cause turnovers. If you can be strong with the ball, And again, a guy like Honor Huff did a good job of being a secondary playmaker. He had, like, you know, in hockey. Do you guys know about hockey in Arizona? Yeah, y'all do now, right? I'm sorry. But, you know, in hockey, they actually give you an assist if you pass it to the guy that passes it to the guy that scores. And I thought Honor did a good job of that. They put 2 on him. He was able to pass the ball. And like Harlan and Bilo and DJ, those are all good facilitators in the pocket. And they were able to move the ball to the open guys. And then, again, you know, Eagle Staff and Huff can both make difficult ones when you kind of needed them to. And then the other ones, I thought we just shot the right ones, you know.
There you go. I mean, again, this is a team that I think we could see another one of those games, kind of like what we saw this last game. Just a team that's going to slow the tempo down and want to try to limit possession. So that's going to be important for Arizona in terms of being able to defend, being able to stay out on those 3-point shooters. We'll get into all that, of course, coming up here in our keys to the game. And I talked about the Wildcats defense and what they were able to do in that game against Cincinnati. Tommy was asked afterward if he thinks, because, again, a lot of people we talk about the ability of this team to rebound, but he was asked if he feels like maybe his defense and how good this team is defensively has been overlooked.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have really no opinion on that. I mean, that's, you know, if someone's choosing to overlook it, I'm honestly probably not paying attention to them. So I'm focused on, you know, I honestly, and I tell you guys this, I don't get caught up in the analytics. I'm focused on possession by possession. And, you know, I thought overall today our defense was pretty good. You know, we had to make some adjustments. I thought, you know, on some of their personnel, I thought we weren't as strong in tendencies as we could have been. But yeah, so yeah, I just look at it from that lens. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are saying where we're at defensively right now, but, you know, to hold a Big 12 team to 51 points at home, you know, we haven't done that very often. So, you know, our guys deserve a lot of credit.
I can tell Coach what the numbers are. You ready?
Yes.
There are 3 teams in the Big 12 in the top 10 of defensive efficiency, which is the big analytical number that you're going to look at, because pace of play, you take the pace of play factor out of it. By the way, West Virginia is 351st in pace of play. They're the slowest team in the conference. Arizona is 9th currently in defensive efficiency. Iowa State is 6th, and Houston is number 1, as always.
There you go. There you go.
So what I'm saying is Arizona currently right now, by all numbers, is a top 10 defensive team nationally.
Playing like it for sure. Let's find out what they need to do to beat this West Virginia team today.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
Keys to a win for Arizona, number 1 Arizona against West Virginia. We'll start with Kelvin Ifan.
Yeah, I think number 1, you got to lock up Honor Huff. He's a guy that basically only has taken 180 threes and 223 shots total. So he's not going to shoot a lot of twos. He's more likely going to shoot threes. He only has 22 assists. So I guess he has a whole bunch of hockey assists because he don't really have that many regular assists, right? So he's only accumulated 1.2.
I don't know, but they know about that hockey in West Virginia?
Okay. So, so I don't know how much that counts there, but 1.2 a game. So he's really looking to score the ball. So I want our guys to stay locked up on him. Would really love to see Jaden Bradley take him. I think that's how important he is to this game. Attack the paint with post touches and drives. They do not have any rim protection.
Yeah.
Their big guy is 7'2", 280. He plays about 20 minutes a game, and after that, there's nobody that weighs more than 150 pounds. Not really 250. There's nobody that weighs more than 215 pounds. So I feel for those guys today. Going against these guys. And then crash the offensive boards. I think you said something about that earlier, but crash the offensive board, I believe that we can dominate the boards again because of the lack of size.
Well, last game, what did the Wildcats have? 6 turnovers, so it was kind of like that Alabama game where they only had 4. Did Arizona? I think that's going to be a real big key today because of the fact that there might not be as many possessions, although I still think that this Wildcat team should be able to get close to that 90-point plateau that is kind of their calling card. But you're going to have to really be able to possess the basketball today and keep that turnover number. I think it needs to really be under 10. again in a game like this where you have a team that really could try to draw you into a slogfest. And just what you said there, they did such a great job on those shooters for Cincinnati. It's going to be more of the same today, although I think these guys shoot the three a little bit better. So, that perimeter defense is going to need to be even more important when you talk about guys like Tracy Eaglestaff and Honor Huff. So if you can keep those two guys from making, I'd say, more than 7 3-point shots, I think that's going to be very key for the Wildcats to win this game today and take advantage of the environment. McHale Center, Zona Zoo, early Saturday tip. We haven't had a lot of early game. First Saturday home game. Everybody's going to be lathered up for this, and this is a West Virginia team that has not played well. And I think if you get them in an early hole, they might just fold like they've done in some of those other games at Iowa State and Houston. So dig them an early hole. Be up by double digits in the first 10 minutes of this game. And if Wildcats are, I think they'll win handily today.
Yeah, it starts for me, obviously, by punishing the paint, imposing your will. Kelvin, DK, you both said it. I mean, this is a undersized West Virginia team relative to Arizona. Most teams are. 50 points in the paint would get it done. Also, don't settle for those threes. I mean, West Virginia is going to be jacking up a lot of threes. Mentioned earlier, that's one game versus Alabama. Arizona in that first half tried to match Alabama on those threes. That's not going to get it done. So 15 or 18 or less threes today, 50 paint points. I'd like to see them get Delly going. Moving towards the rim, obviously seeing free throws go through the net is a good way to get shooters going. But the confidence, I mean, Delly's got the form. He's got the touch. We've seen him do it in the past. He's going through a little bit of a streak here. So I'd like to see his teammates help to get Delly going in this game. 10 to 15 points will get that done. And as you guys both said, West Virginia Mountaineers are going to rely on the three-point shot a ton today. They're going to slow the pace down. They shoot a good percentage, and the number of possessions by both teams is low. They have a chance to stay in the game. So most importantly, get your hands out in those shooters' faces. Make sure they don't get any clean looks. Percentage is really what I'm looking at. So somewhere under 35%, I think will get it done today for the Wildcats.
That's what we think Arizona needs to do to beat West Virginia.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different. Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm. The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
All right, starting lineup, Jaden Bradley at one guard. He's a senior out of Rochester, New York, averaging 14 points and 5 assists per ball game. Braden Burries is 6'4", freshman out of San Bernardino, 14 points a contest for Braden. The man in the middle, Motiejus Krivas, 7'2", junior out of Chule, Lithuania, 11 points and 8 rebounds. Ivan Karchinkov at one forward, 6'7", out of Munich, Germany. Ivan averaging 10 points per ball game. And Koa Pete is 6'8", freshman out of Chandler, Arizona, averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds per contest. Tommy Lloyd is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. They are number 1, and they're about to play West Virginia. Tip-off coming up at noon. We're going to hand it over to the network. Brian Jeffries, Ryan Hansen will have the call. We'll be back with you after the game. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Join us then. Until then, bear down, Arizona.
It's a balancing act with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the ghost pepper challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pest.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Coach, Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way has important news.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering up to 60 months no interest financing, manufacturer and energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
When it comes to basketball, nothing beats Wildcat basketball.
Stolen by Korchikov on a breakaway. There goes Yvonne to the bucket. Slam it home.
This is University of Arizona Wildcat basketball. And this is the Hughes Federal Credit Union Countdown to Tip-Off show.
Burries with the steal, 3-on-1 ahead to Bradley. Now he'll back up to the corner and shoot an open three and score it.
Stay tuned for a complete preview of today's game, including a look at the Cats' opponent, scores from games around the country, and the pregame thoughts of head coach Tommy Lloyd. Countdown to Tip-Off is brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Visit hughesfcu.org/Wildcats to learn why Arizona fans choose Hughes. Now, Arizona Sports Enterprises is proud to present Wildcat Basketball.
Saturday afternoon basketball just around the corner as the top-ranked Wildcats get set to entertain the West Virginia Mountaineers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the sounds of a